Joe Reinagle, Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He is Joe Reinagle.
Yeah, it felt like we just left here.
Groundhog Day?
Groundhog Day, a little bit, yeah.
When you come to work every day, that's what
the
it's
way
like.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy, though. It's good. It's good to be back here. There's a lot to talk about today.
There is, and I got to admit, as one of the great things is this show develops. We're in week 3 with Reinagle. While he is a Cowboy fan, he's not. And I say that loosely. You're not a Cowboy fan, but you don't have the Cowboys hate that some
No
do,
Cowboys hate. No,
right?
Not at all.
I know. I have a lot of friends who take more joy in a Cowboy loss than a win by their own team.
No.
I got a friend named Ruben who's an Eagles fan who changed his profile picture the other day on Facebook to the 49ers logo. Right? I mean, it's just, it's like the Cowboys are living in their head. No matter what university it is, they all do horns down, right? I mean,
right.
And as a fan of the Longhorns, as a fan of the Astros, fan of the Cowboys, I'm used to the hate. I'm
sure.
good with that. But today I'm still angry about the Cowboys season being over. But I was feeling a little bit better about it today.
Okay.
Until I heard Mike McCarthy talk. It's been 3 days and the dude still doesn't get it.
He doesn't get it.
And then Troy Aikman was on 1310 up in Dallas.
And proved my point, by the way.
He proved my point, by the way.
No.
He proved everybody's point, by the way, that the Cowboys offense has its issues. Now, where do you lay the blame when you hear from Aikman? We differ on that.
We do.
But I do think we're angry at the same thing. We're just angry at the wrong person. And you're wrong in this, but and Troy tells you you're wrong, but you just won't let go of your wrong side of the argument.
Let's play this. Let everybody hear it.
All right.
And then we'll have a little debate.
This is Troy on 1310 up there in Dallas talking about CeeDee Lamb with 1 catch.
Yes.
He was targeted 5 times in the game, 1 catch. He did have a couple other catches that were wiped away because of penalties. So overall stats, dude had 1 catch.
San Francisco rushed 4 guys for the most part. They blitzed occasionally, but they're a 4-man rush football team. But a lot of times when you say that, then you think, oh, well, they're playing coverage. Well, they mixed in some coverage, but there was a lot of single coverage on CeeDee Lamb. And I would tell you, as I said in our game last week at halftime, when they couldn't get the ball to Devontae Smith, when the Eagles couldn't, if it was back when I was playing, and I hate going back to that point because nobody cares. But what I see around the leagues, not just Dallas, it was in Philadelphia, I've seen it with a lot of teams, that a lot of these offenses, they want to scheme things. The coordinators it's all about scheme. Rather than this corner is playing soft, he's scared to death, just run the route tree. Just run a comeback, run a dig route, run a curl, run anything. And you're going to complete the pass whenever you want. And Urban would have had 10 catches at halftime if they had played us the way that they played CeeDee Lamb in that game. So I just don't quite understand that. It's interesting. I was at Madden's memorial service yesterday in Oakland, and Peyton Manning was there. And we got to talking about the game, and I was having this conversation with him, and he agreed that, more and more you just see that teams, the game's not that difficult. If I've got a great player at wide receiver and a corner is playing him single coverage, throw him the ball. He's going to win most of the time, and that's what they do in Green Bay with Devontae Adams.
Yeah. Now again.
Thank you, Troy.
Again, Reinagle, well, the floor is yours.
He absolutely said what I said. Look, while you're going to blame Kellen Moore, and Kellen Moore should get a lot of the blame, but if you're Dak Prescott, and you look over and you've got CeeDee Lamb or Amari Cooper standing out there, and you've got one guy covering him, and he's 10 yards back, I'm checking out of whatever play Kellen Moore sent in, and I'm throwing about a 5 or 6 yard route to one of those guys. And I'm going to keep doing that until that corner moves up, and then I'm going to go over the top. It's not that difficult because that's what Troy Aikman would have done.
Well, and again, I think it's simple. Right? It should be simple.
Absolutely.
Take what the defense is giving you.
Yes.
The reason I agree. We agree on the problem. It's who to blame. I'm not blaming Dak for that. I'm blaming Kellen. And Troy even says it's the coordinators. He pointed out in Philadelphia. He talks about in Dallas they're doing this. They're going with the schemes that they are running, which is why all these offensive coordinators are these geniuses, and the analytics that play into it. Run the play that is called because the analytics tell us these are going to be successful. And I do think in this new age of football, you get more and more coaches and more players that are going with what the analytics tell you 99% of the time, because you spend all that money on the analytics, you have all that data, and if you don't use the data, then what are you doing? And I agree with you. If I see that, check out and throw them. I'm with you there. But I think this is Kellen and Dak is following the instructions of his offensive coordinator. This is the play that we're running. And when they check in that play, they look at the defense. If the defense is in this is the route that you run based on that defensive look.
Okay, let's get back in a time machine.
Okay.
All right, let's go back. You ready? Woo! Back to the 90s. We're there.
That's a pathetic Jetsons.
I thought it was pretty good. But we're back in the 90s, okay? Pretend. Okay, we're back in the 90s. The Cowboys were good.
Yes.
They were winning Super Bowls.
Yes.
Do you honestly believe that Troy Aikman gets a play and says, if this guy isn't open, throw to this guy, because that's what the scheme says? Even though Michael Irvin's standing out there with a cornerback 10 yards there, Troy Aikman's throwing that ball. He's telling the offensive coordinator to pound sand. Okay, because here's what's happening. You're being patient. You're getting 5-6 yards a pop, and eventually that corner's going to come up. Troy Aikman wouldn't have cared. And that's why Troy Aikman has 3 Super Bowls. Dak Prescott needs to take that into his own hands. And I know I've already heard it because we had this discussion in the office earlier.
Oh, yeah. We've been arguing about this all day.
That we've been arguing, right? And we don't want Dak to deviate from what he's doing. But at some point in time, if Dak Prescott is going to be the quarterback that everybody thinks he can be, then he's going to have to take matters in his own hands. And then he's going to have to go back and say, guess what? We just marched down the field 70 yards. I threw 10 passes to CD Lamb. We scored a touchdown. What do you want me to do? And everybody's going to be okay with that.
I don't disagree with that at all. Quick breaking news. The Spurs make the trade that you heard from Woj about last night official. So the Spurs picked up a guy with an odd name that probably won't play a whole lot in the silver and black. Back to the Cowboys. You look at they finally made it official.
Made it official.
Woo!
Okay.
All right. Spurs make an in-season move. Again, I think this is more of an indictment on Kellen Moore than it is on Dak Prescott. I agree with you. I would like Dak to be able to do that, but we all have bosses, including Dak Prescott.
Okay.
Now, I'm with you.
All right.
But he's going to listen to his coach. That's the game plan moving in. My hope is that when they are looking at film, that they are sick to their stomach looking at all the missed opportunities if they would have done that, and they make the changes. But talking to the coaches that use the analytics, they live by the sword, they die by the sword.
Well, maybe they need to look at what they're doing, and maybe analytics isn't all that everybody thinks it's cracked up to be. Because let's face it, it's football. Okay? When we're playing in the street, hey, go to the mailbox and cut to the left. Okay, and I'm going to hit you right there. You know, it's just that simple sometimes. Sometimes it's not any harder than that. And I saw it too. Both of those guys, the corners for San Francisco, they didn't want to give up the big play. They did not want to do that. That's what they were scared of. And Troy's point is, especially when you have an offensive line as porous as the Cowboys is right now, you have CD Lamb running a little 5-yard curl. You're getting that ball out in 2 seconds. You got no issue with an offensive line at that point in time.
You know, the interesting thing is when you watch the Cowboys, and I've bitched about this for the last several weeks, and you know this, all this stuff underneath. The tight end became the number 1 target. CD wasn't getting enough targets. Well, when you start watching all these different plays, and you just said it, they're giving up the underneath, not the over the top, right? They're not. San Francisco is playing not to give up the big play. And I'm talking, when was the last time we saw the Cowboys take that shot downfield? Well, CD, who's one of the 1 or 2, right? Do you want him or Amari Cooper as your 1 and 2 by depth chart, he's number 2 to Amari Cooper. He's always the deep guy. I mean, that guy gets in more long sprints every game, but the underneath is open, and that's where Dak was going with the ball.
Look at the good quarterbacks. They set up the long ball.
They do.
They set it up.
They do.
Right? You bring those guys in because you're killing them underneath. You're killing them. And I'm not talking about the tight end. And I know we talked about this, and I was a little bit critical of all the underneath stuff too. However,
but again, they were taking what the defense was giving.
But having said that, I still think a guy like a CD Lamb ought to be able to beat anybody going deep. Dak should be able to throw that football up. Devontae Adams does it. Stephon Diggs does it.
You've got single coverage.
Odell Beckham does it.
Safety high. I'm with you. We're also bitching like this about statistically the number 1 offense and number 1 scoring offense in the NFL.
Okay. You know, Rob Thompson brought that up a little earlier. And look, the Cowboys played nobody. Okay, they put up a bunch of stats against a bunch of bad teams, especially that Washington football team and the Eagles in that last game. That was a lot of stat padding.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, in those games. And they played the NFC East was absolutely horrendous this year overall, except for the Cowboys. Okay, they were average. All right. Everybody else was horrible. And so you pad your stats there. So, look, I don't take a lot of stock in what that says and how many stats the Cowboys, because they're out of the playoffs. So stats mean absolutely nothing. You know, they can go, hey, guess what? In 2021, we were the number 1 offense. Okay, what'd that get you? An early exit in the playoffs.
I'm with you. It was kind of like a couple of years ago when the Spurs almost went undefeated at home, right? Who cares if you go undefeated at home if you don't win a trophy at the end? That's
exactly right.
And that's what it boils down to is what do you do to fix the offense? And like I said, you know, stages of grief at the end of the season. I should be over anger by now. And I was kind of getting there, right? Until I heard Mike McCarthy talking.
Yeah.
In his exit interviews with all his players, accountability, he said, was number 1. We got to cut down on officials.
Okay.
We had to wait till the end of the year for you to bring that up. I don't know. I hear stuff like that, and that seems like the obvious. I don't know if the coach needs to tell me, you know, we're committing too many penalties. That's the kind of stuff that just drives me nuts. And hearing his explanation of the final play, where 3 days later he still thinks he was right and is blaming the official on how to spot the ball. I just don't get sometimes. Mike McCarthy, 3 days later, you can't just admit that last play, you guys did it wrong.
Well, I mean, I think when you, in this particular instance, I think when you see Tyler get the ball, he looks for the umpire. You know, he turns and looks for the umpire. So I think it's only a natural reaction to, you know, because if the umpire's not there, we're taught to put the ball in a proper space. And I think not only, you know, the distance that the umpire had to come from, you know, and the collision that he was part of, I can't speak on his behalf, you know, what he saw, actually what the spot was, you know, as far, you know, basically on the way it all happened. So, you know, usually, you know, the training tapes will show you, you know, 9 out of 10 of them are tap, and you know, we call it a 3-2-1. The clock's coming down 3-2-1 because you want to snap that ball right at 2 seconds. So, yeah, I don't have any problem with our mechanics. But yeah, I mean, if the umpire's right there, yeah, give it to him. Because, you know, we talk about 2 resets. You know, everybody's got to get set, and then there's a potential reset if the ball's not properly spotted based on how the ump feels in it. But, you know, trying to eliminate that step, if you put it right on the hash, you know, on the edge of the half with the tip on it, which is the same mechanics that the umpires use, then you're hoping to save a step there, where that's usually when it becomes a tap. And it's really, my understanding is, you know, as long as they have what they feel is an appropriate spot, which usually in that instance, you know, coming down to the wire like that, you usually get the tap there.
Yeah, you usually is. And
I've never seen a referee tap the football.
They said it.
They said it.
They said it. They all. I mean, the guy. Now, granted, that old man was running from a long distance, and maybe he should have been closer. But at the same time, you got to snap the ball with 2 seconds. That minute and 29 seconds that you just heard from Mike McCarthy. That minute 29. The only thing he said there that I agree with is you have to snap the ball with 2 seconds. So go back to postgame when Dak Prescott said when he saw 2. At that point, that ball was not in your hands. You have to bail out of the spike and just go fire drill, and everybody goes deep. I can't believe 3 days later, you still think you were right, Mike McCarthy.
He wasn't right. I mean, you are right, and I'm going to give you some credit because that's exactly what the Cowboys should have done, and that's what they should have been preparing. Look, Dak can see the clock. He can see that there's not enough time to spike that thing. And I know everything's hectic there, and
Sure.
Monday morning quarterbacking is real easy. However, I don't know who was saying it on all the so-called experts. If they just call 911, snap that football, they get another playoff. What happened? The clock runs out when he's trying to spike it. He got the snap off.
He did.
He got the snap off in time, but spiking the football, the clock was out before he could spike it. So if he just runs that play, has everybody streak to the end zone, throw it up for a Hail Mary, and they would have gotten the playoff.
In my mind, when they called the play to quarterback draw, and I don't know, since the middle of the field was wide open, have your tight end run down, you throw it to him, he gives himself up, you spot the ball officially. Does that buy you an extra second or two or three, whatever it might be there? But you ran it. And Mike McCarthy did say in his press conference, ideally you would have picked up 10 yards and went down. Dak ran a little too long.
Yep.
I mean, that's fine. They still, Dak, at the distance he ran and gave himself up, they still were able to get a snap off in time. And the resetting that cost him a second. I mean, I understand where Mike McCarthy is coming from, where he might feel that he was right, but you can't make that gamble that everything is going to go textbook in a situation like that. And the fact that they didn't have the fire drill play called is what's beyond me. At what point does everybody know just streak? But I'm even, you talk about CeeDee Lamb and a couple other, was it Noah Brown? You know, that weren't hustling back to get set.
Not at all.
I mean, the urgency, the game is on the line. You can get that play off. It's incredible to me that 3 days later, damn it, I was right.
Yeah,
I was right.
Well, and there you go. That just goes to discipline because, I mean, everybody should be in a fire drill mode at that point in time. Yeah, Dak should have gone down at least 5 yards sooner. And had he done that, Jason, nobody would have been on top of him. He pops right up, and then they get set, and they have a few more seconds. So a lot of things happen, and I think it's funny that it's Wednesday, and we're still upset about what happened on the final play of the game on Sunday. But you're right. It's McCarthy, it's Troy Aikman who are pointing these things out, and you just start thinking about it, and it's stuff that you're thinking anyway, and it just irritates. It's irritating that a professional football team doesn't know what to do in a situation.
And again, had they ended up winning that game, kind of like the game against the Chargers in week 2, you know, there were a couple of mistakes that McCarthy made where they ended up winning, and you kind of forget it. You overlook it, right? But Mike McCarthy in year 2, he's not getting fired. He's not going to get fired.
You don't? Have you heard from Jerry Jones?
I haven't heard from Jerry, which is a little odd. We'll ask Mickey Spagnola about that coming up at 5 o'clock. Mickey is going to join us today to talk about what McCarthy said today. But, you know, he was asked about his future with the Dallas Cowboys. In fact, he was asked if he's had talks with Jerry Jones about his future with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, I've had a chance to, talk to Jerry, after the game for a long time. Also saw him again Monday. So, we had a very positive, conversation and just, the focus on the evaluation process. So I don't see it that way. I'm focused on the exit interview process.
Yeah, I'm focused on the exit interview process. We're gonna go from there. Now, one of the things, what are you laughing at?
I don't know. What was that comment there by Gabriel? Jason was right.
There's a bar downtown that might be, it gives the Rudder Room a run for its money.
Well, that's kind of random, Gabriel. Well, how did that come up?
I have no idea. And Pledge puts it up there in the middle to distract you.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's one of those things.
Something about chicken feet. I want to hear more about it now. Chicken feet.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Sorry about that.
Maybe that's coming up in the 7:30 p.m. segment. I mean, it's one of them kind of places, though.
Okay.
I can promise you that, especially if Anita's having a birthday party down there. She always seems to be having a birthday party when we go in there. One of the other things, when you think about job security, because I know I talk out of both sides of my mouth when I say this. You got to give a head coach time. Mike McCarthy, I make the exception. I'm ready for Mike McCarthy to be gone. Most of the time, you hire a coach and you're a pretty bad team and you've got to have time to develop your roster, get your players in. Mike McCarthy took over a pretty stacked roster.
Yes.
And they have added to it. So 2 years in, you can't waste this roster with Mike McCarthy. And that's why I make the exception, because I know I've said that many times. And yesterday and Monday, I was calling for McCarthy to get fired. And some people have called me out for that. That's the exception, is the roster that he took over. If you've taken over a bad team, you need more than 3 years to turn things around. And I do think you can make the exception there when you look at the roster that Mike McCarthy has taken over. And in 2 years, some of the blunders that they have made that are on his responsibility chart are unforgivable. And Jerry Jones, as old as he is, can't afford to be patient like he was with Jason Garrett.
Well, here's the problem, though, Jason. This might have been the Cowboys' year. It might have been their best year. They've got a list of free agents as long as this table.
Yep.
And they've got a lot of work to do when it comes down to that. So, I mean, this may have been the year, and it's gone. So what do they do in the offseason? They're going to have to retool some things. They're going to lose some guys. Amari Cooper, I would almost guarantee, will not be back in a Dallas uniform.
You know, it's interesting because Amari Cooper's contract is at the point where you can rework it or you can move it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, with the CeeDee Lamb, I think the injury to Michael Gallup might save Amari Cooper.
Maybe.
Because now what is Amari Cooper going to be worth, or what is Michael Gallup going to be worth? Has Cedric Wilson done enough? And you look at some of the free agents, the other reason why I agree with you, this was their year, this was their opportunity, this stacked roster playing a third-place schedule.
Yeah.
Next year, they're going to have a first-place schedule.
Yeah.
And so that certainly factors in to, you know, a 12-win season. You can't laugh at that, and you can't say they didn't play anybody. You still won 12 games. You had a home playoff game. You're the only team in Wild Card Weekend to play at home and lose.
Yep.
I mean, the disappointment. You go back to when Dez caught it. That was their year, too, if the referees would have gotten that right. But this was a golden opportunity that they let slip through their fingers. And Mike McCarthy to sit up there today and, well, you know, I mean, it's always tough the first year with the group, and you get into the playoffs. We're going to learn from this and we're going to get better. It just drives me nuts when I hear crap like that. And then, you know, Mike McCarthy being asked, you know, do you get used to always having job security questions?
I think, you know, internally, and I think for people in this profession, they, you know, it's accepted. You know, it's part of the job. You know, I get that. I understand why you're asking the question. It's part of the job. I mean, you have a job to do, and I have a job to do here today and answer your questions appropriately and respectfully. But, yeah, I don't put a lot into it because I know what I personally put into this. You know, I understand what goes on here every day. I know how to win. I know how to win in this league. I know how to win playoff games. I know how to win a championship. So I have great confidence in that. What we've built here in 2 seasons, I feel very good about. And I think with that, you stay true to that. You know, the hard part's the personal. So we all have kids, you know, so that's the part that I don't like, you know, so, and I just hope people were respectful to that.
Yeah, sure.
Please. Are you kidding me?
You know how to win. You've won before. You're a veteran coach. You shouldn't be ousted in the first round with dumb mistakes by your football team.
A lot of things that he said there, it just baffle me. He knows how to win. He knows how to win a championship. He does have a championship under his belt. You got to give him that. You can't take it away from him. Look, the personal thing, you know, it's just like us, right? We get things said to us, and some are good things, some are bad things. You're a head football coach in the NFL. Guess what? People are going to criticize you. They're going to call you names. They're going to say things. He knows that.
Absolutely.
Don't give me that line about, oh, my kids, they're going to get upset. Well, then go get another profession.
Again, and nobody's making fun of your kids. You know, it's kind of like us. I mean, you know, if you want to take shots at me, that's fine.
Right.
You know, leave the family out of it.
Exactly.
Right? You know,
exactly right.
You know, and then we all know that when you get into a business or you're in the public eye, whether you're a coach, you're an athlete, a radio or TV guy, a politician, that comes with the territory.
Comes with it.
Part of it.
That last line, I could stomach just about everything else he said until he goes with, the personal side of it. We all have kids.
Daddy, don't get fired. I like my friends at school.
And please.
I don't want to move back to Green Bay. Oh, wait, they still live in Green Bay.
Guys making millions,
Yeah.
okay? Millions, and will walk away with millions. And so I don't feel sorry for you, Mike McCarthy, or your family. They're going to be just fine.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. We'll talk more Cowboys with Mickey Spagnola coming up at 5 o'clock. We got some weather rolling in. We'll get into that. Aggies have a big game today. Andrew Monaco will join us at 6 for a preview of A&M against Kentucky. Maddy Skye joins us next here on the Blitz. It's going to get cold tomorrow. It's going to get stupid cold. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, you need that logo on winter gear. You need to get into Sammy's Embroidery Club down on San Pedro. He's got his winter line on display in his showroom now. Jackets, coats, hoodies, half zips, beanies, all the big name brands, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Port Authority, to name a few. And Sam has plenty of inventory in stock, including the largest selection of hats, including the popular Richardson style cap in stock. Sam has over 700 uniform lines to choose from, and not just embroidery, silkscreen shirts as well for any occasion. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices. Sammy has all the big name brands and is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too small, no order too big, and all items do come with a warranty. Call Sammy's Embroidery Club at 210-824-3900, or better yet, get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's. The website, samsembroidery.com for Sammy's Embroidery Club. Maddy Skye joins us next after we get a Sports Center update from James Pledge with details on the Spurs trade.
Yeah, it is finally official as the Spurs pulled off a 3-team trade last night, sending Bryn Forbes to the Denver Nuggets. In return, San Antonio is receiving forward Juancho Hernan-Gomez and a 2028 second-round pick from the Nuggets. Boston, who is a third party involved, receives Bol and Pizé Dozier from the Nuggets. Speaking of the Spurs, they return to action tonight to take on Oklahoma City with tip-off from the AT&T Center set for 7:30. Tonight, the Texas A&M Aggies, who have won 8 straight and are undefeated in the SEC, get ready to take on 12th-ranked Kentucky with tip-off from Reed Arena and College Station set for 7:30, a game you can catch right here immediately following the Blitz with the pregame at 7. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Progressive presents Forced Metaphors about bundling your home and auto.
When you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, you get great savings and round-the-clock protection, which is as beautiful as looking your firstborn child in the eyes for the first time. Well, that's a bit much. Maybe it's more like looking your second-born child in the eyes for like the third or fourth time. Point being, the savings and round-the-clock protection are really, really magical.
Forced Metaphors, presented by Progressive. Bundle and protect today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
When it comes to getting work done on your property, get the power, comfort, and quality you need by choosing Kubota compact construction equipment, like excavators, skid loaders, and track loaders. At Ewald Kubota, we have all the equipment you need, whether you're buying or renting. And we know you need the reliable, dependable equipment Kubota is known for. Right now, all new rental customers get 10% off their first rental. This is our way of saying welcome to your neighborhood Ewald Kubota dealership. For more information, visit ewaldkubota.com.
Grit Football is holding their first camp of 2022 this Saturday at Texas A&M San Antonio for players between 11 and 19 years old. Grit Football is designed to get student athletes to the next level of their sports career. Become starter, make varsity, play in college, improve your game and football IQ with offensive and defensive concepts taught by college coaches. Sign your player up for the Grit Football Camp this Saturday, January 22nd at Texas A&M San Antonio. Sign up today at gritfootballcamp.com. That's gritfootballcamp.com.
Hello, this is Discover, and we take customer service very seriously. We know that if you have a question or concern about your credit card, that's a serious matter, and you need to talk to a real person about it. So we offer around-the-clock access to seriously talented representatives in the USA. Again, it's a serious endeavor. The only funny thing about it is Bob. If you call us and Bob answers, you're in for a treat. Get 100% US-based customer service and talk to a real person day or night. Discover exceptionally common sense.
Jason Minix here for Garageanization. You've heard me tell you about their shelving, overhead racks, and storage systems to make your garage functional for the entire family. If you have issues with your garage, call 210-664-4494. Have them come out and give you a free consultation. Garageanization couldn't be a better choice. A veteran family-owned and operated business for more than a decade. Give them a call at 210-664-4494 or go to the website garageorganizationsanantonio.com.
Happy Hour is back at Twin Peaks, and we're offering up more than just great drinks. Score yourself some chips and salsa for just $2. Your choice of mozzarella cheese bites, chips and queso, or fried pickles, where they're just $4. And the triple play quesadillas or 6 bonus wings, that's right, only $6. Each of these epic appetizers are craveable, shareable, and delicious. And what a deal. Happy Hour at Twin Peaks just got better. See you Monday through Friday, 2 to 7 p.m. Again at late night. Get to Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
All used cars are not the same. At Give Me the VIN, we pay more for the clean ones. You got a nice one that's nicer than everybody else's? Go to GiveMeTheVIN.com, load it up. I'll pay you more. If it's normal, we'll pay you the top of normal. If it's crappy, we'll pay you the top of crappy. But we do understand the difference at GiveMeTheVIN.com, and we can price them both. But we're America's best car buyer because we bought $1 billion of cars in 2021. Only at
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Get the latest on what's happening on the NBA hardwood.
Behind the back dribble to the rim and the flush.
Right here on San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN 1250. 94.5 FM.
I ain't even here right now. Looking at what's going on in the city of San Antonio. It's Maddy Skyeline. Yeah,
it's a Wednesday. That means it's time for Maddy Skyeline. Maddy Skye, the food and culture editor of the San Antonio Express News. Joining us here on the Blitz, he's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Maddy Skye. Boy, it must be a slow day at the office. Your hair is done, the makeup's on, the lighting is good. How's your Wednesday, Maddy?
It's actually a very busy Wednesday. I've just been on it today. After this, I have another story to write. I've been busy all day, but I actually cooked myself some lunch. You're right. I went to the gym this morning.
Wow.
I'm on it. I'm on it today. This is just my natural hair, by the way. I didn't do anything to it.
Well, normally I can tell, if it's up, kind of hidden, kind of whatever, now it's like, this is all right. Fair enough. For those watching, you know what I'm saying.
Talk about.
Huh?
Wow. I have a bunch of stories to talk about too.
Well, let's get into it.
Yeah. What are you writing about? What you say you're going to get off of this and write about something. What is it? Can you tell us?
Oh, unfortunately, that is not so much of a positive story. We had vandalism downtown of a really beloved French restaurant. I'm not going to try pronouncing the name because I'll butcher it. I've been there, though. It was a spot that we would eat at a lot when we were in office. So I'm writing up that because it's really cool. San Antonio always rally support. And the cool part about it is that there is a GoFundMe created to support them through their incident. But we have had a lot of fun stories recently. I tried 5 different Whataburger orders, which was such a hard task for me, such a hard assignment.
Well, but what's interesting about that, and I wanted to ask you about that because you solicited your readers and followers to send you their special orders at Whataburger, and you were going to go try 5 of them. I'm curious, what weird stuff do people try to get? I mean, I know Burger King, you get it your way, but at Whataburger, it's kind of the same thing. Was there some very, very odd combinations that you said, all right, I'll give that one a try?
There weren't so many odd combinations. There was one that I was teetering on until I found one that I really liked because somebody had suggested doing I think it was a patty melt, but instead of using whatever sauce that comes with it, to do ketchup. And I was like, I like ketchup, but not enough to swap out my sauce. But I will say there are some that I really wanted to try, but I could not find time to wake up that early, and B, didn't want to eat that late. But apparently, if you order a burger during breakfast hours, which is 11 p.m. to 11 a.m., you can get a fried egg on your burger.
Oh, wow.
Have you never put a fried egg on your burger?
No, I mean, I have, but not at Whataburger.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know you could do that.
At Whataburger?
I didn't know.
Oh. Have you ever put a fried egg on your burger?
I have, but not at Whataburger.
Well, I got to admit, though, a lot of those places, I wonder, are they using actual fried eggs where they crack the egg and fry it, or is it the pre-made egg that goes on the biscuits? Well, you know what I'm saying?
Whataburger.
Got to be a real egg.
Of course, it's It's
you say that like you know. There was hesitation on your part for a reason too.
I mean, I don't know what's going on. I just know whatever comes out is delicious. So, but I did notice that because, mind you, these submissions were sent in, you know, they were coming in everywhere. It was Instagram, Twitter, email, my Instagram, other people's or my essay Instagram. So I did get kind of lost in the sauce a little bit, and you know, people are typing these, so they can't really tell you exactly what the order is. And I did flub one. I want to apologize. There was one that said you can add a chicken patty. So I was like, surely they mean sub out the beef patty for the chicken patty. Well, I tried that one, and that is good like that. It was a little bit of confusion. Like the guy at the counter did not understand what I wanted. So I had to like go back and forth a few times with him and then send back my order. Oh, nice. Thank you, Rocky. But this man, what he really wanted me to do was literally add the chicken patty to the beef patty. So you get both.
I like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
That at McDonald's.
And again, you do that and you get the Diet Coke on the side to make you feel better.
Wait a minute. You can do that at McDonald's too?
Yeah, people in college used to do that a lot. Back when metabolisms were great.
I've been missing out on some good food. I'm really happy.
2 a.m. orders can get creative.
Yes, they can, right?
So yeah, and my favorite though, when I talk about my favorite, like the one I've been telling my family about and my friends about, there was one that I knew I was going to be biased towards it because I love number 5, the bacon, the double with the bacon. But Megan Gagnon, shout out to her. It was the last one I tried. You know, I was like searching. I was like, yes, no. But finally, I see hers, and she said, get the number 5, add honey barbecue sauce to it, sub it with Swiss cheese, add fire roasted mushrooms and fire roasted veggies, grill everything that you can, toast the buns, and it is delicious. It's savory.
Wow,
sounds good.
Like very much like smash style burger, like just like messy and like. Oof. And
do all that and add the fried egg next time.
Right.
Now, Maddy, did that take a long time to get that burger ready with all that stuff?
So I will say that it's easier to complete your order online because I think they have like a butcher's list of exactly what you want. The other ones I went in and I felt like I'm a person that doesn't want to bother anybody. So it kind of like made me go out of my comfort zone to like stand there and tell them, no, not that. No, because it's for a story. So it has to be perfect. And it didn't take a long time, but there were some hiccups, like I mentioned, with the kitchen not understanding what I wanted. So if you're going to do that, definitely order online. But there are certain things like the chicken and beef one. Like I don't think there's an option to add another protein.
Yeah, it's interesting. I get my burger with no tomatoes, and it's 50-50 whether it comes with tomatoes. So if you try to get overly complicated, it really is whoever's taking your order or who's in the back and how closely they're paying attention.
Yeah.
I mean,
definitely be patient.
That definitely comes with the territory. Maddy Skye from the Express News with us here. That was a great article with the different combinations from Whataburger. Now, speaking of combinations, I've known you long enough, Maddy, that I know you love Valentine's Day.
I love Valentine's Day.
She hates it. So your story the other day, which I'm sure you take a lot of pleasure in writing, and I love the tweet about petty spaghetti for Valentine's Day. The Zoos Cry Me a Cockroach fundraiser that they're doing again for Valentine's Day. Somehow I could just see the smile on your face as you were putting that article together.
So that's actually my staff member, Camille, that wrote it.
I could see the smile on your face as you were reading that article.
Yeah. Well, it was so funny because since I am her editor and we're, working remote, I edit with her. We screen share and I go through everything with her. And she's just really funny too. So go read everything Camille writes. She's a great writer, but we were really stuck on the headline because everything else was natural. That she's awesome, but the headlines we were really proud of that because we were like, there's a joke somewhere. There has to be a joke somewhere. And then we were literally looking up roach photos for inspiration. I was like, we got to get this together. And she was like, what about exterminate? Exterminate rats exterminate roaches, the whole thing. So yes, we got a lot of good laughs out of that. And Tim and his team over at the zoo, like they have been doing this, I think, for 3 or 4 years. And every time it comes out, it like gets such big attention. I think one year, like CNN picked it up.
It's a great promotion.
Wow,
It's
yeah.
a great promotion.
I would never do it. Surprisingly, I wouldn't waste the time or money on my
It's a
exes.
fundraiser
They're
for
not
the
worth
zoo, and you've got plenty of exes that you could feed those roaches to. I mean, I know you well enough, Maddie. I mean, this is right up your alley.
Wait a minute, that's a whole nother story in itself. How many exes do you have, Maddie?
We don't talk about that. I plead the fifth. They're not worth talking. Let's not give them airtime.
They're worth a roach.
Maybe.
Some
Maybe
of them. Cockroaches that they are.
I do see them as cockroaches. That's true. Just kidding. Let's not go down that route.
Oh, the show's getting good now. Wait a minute. Confessions with Maddy Skye.
Yeah, that's the 7:45 segment. We'll do that at Maddy Skye After Dark. That'll be the new podcast.
We would need a whole other hour to all their tomfoolery.
We would. Maddie, before we let you go, and we're running up against the time wall, I want to ask you about something that Ryan Nagel and I experienced the other day. We're coming to working on Eisenhower by the radio station. There was this shady, sketchy looking van with a banner on the side that said free COVID test.
Yeah.
We both saw it. So we jumped in the car when we were talking about it in the office, like, did you see that thing? And we went over there and took photos of it. And we're glad we didn't get shot at while we were doing our investigative journalism, right? But by the way, the van wasn't there today.
It's not there.
It's not there today.
I saw your post on Instagram.
Maybe, but are there? Apparently, there's lots of these shady-looking vans everywhere. But you had an article not long ago about scammer COVID sites.
Right. Yes. So I thought I had gone to one. Long story short, I didn't. And long story short, I did get catch COVID 2 weeks ago. And I knew they weren't shady because I tested positive with them and with this other site that I trust a lot. But I thought that's what kind of got my gears going, because I was like, is this place legit? Because there was no line. I had never heard of them before. So I reached out to Metro Health and the officials there, and they said that just like these other big cities, there were some testing sites popping up that were kind of rogue. And the biggest sign that should tell you that it is illegitimate or, not the real thing is if they ask you for a social security number or if they ask you for any payment, because those things should not be happening. And of course, if there's no signage, if you're not able to contact like the main office, and that's kind of suspicious.
You saw photos of that van. Would you get tested there?
Probably not. Probably not. But if there said free tacos, I'd probably show up.
Well, I mean, that's it. I mean, and maybe the test was free, but the results were expensive.
It was the ice cream man. I'm convinced of it, right? So I think you got a popsicle or frozen fudge pop or something.
I don't know that I would even want ice cream out of that van. I mean, that's where you go to get things.
The crazy thing is that nobody knows where the information is going.
Well, that's it.
So that's,
I mean, because I've heard of people that were doing, or they would go get tested and never got their results.
Right.
Yeah.
And you kind of wonder, okay, so were they just sending it in so they get paid from the government, but never really testing? They just showed that they swabbed so many people. I don't know. It just looks shady as hell. And the fact that it's not there today.
Well, maybe it just moved, relocated.
They're on the move, Jason.
Not enough customers in this abandoned gas station.
We've got
so let me
to go
try
somewhere else.
Of all the creepy things I've seen on Austin Highway through the years, that's right
was
up
creepy.
there at the top.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah. Maddie, enjoy your week. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, guys.
Have fun.
See y'all.
Maddy Skye from the San Antonio Express News and My Essay, as she joins us every Wednesday.
Well, and she was honest. She wouldn't have gotten swabbed there, just like the rest of us.
It was the strangest thing.
It was creepy.
It was.
Well, I'm kind of curious now as to where it went. I want to know. and here's the deal. Even if you see it now around the corner, is that the same one? Is it a different one? I mean, the story goes on and on and on, and I want to know.
Joe wants to know.
I do. I want to know.
Eyewitness wants to know.
We've got a news department here. You think they can help me out?
They saw the photos. They didn't want to take you up on trying to figure out. You gave them a good news lead.
I did, right?
And
we even had the pictures for him.
Retiring sports
We had the
guy.
pictures for him.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
What does he know? He's a sports head.
Mickey Spagnola from DallasCowboys.com will join us coming up at 5 o'clock. The latest on the Cowboys and the McCarthy press conference. Mickey's perspective at 5 o'clock. A very odd sight at the UT basketball game last night. We'll get into that as well as we continue here on the Blitz. You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail. You don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you really understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. Whether you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, in the Valley, anywhere in between, license number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121 or online at mybestbailbonds.com.
The crazy world of SEC football.
I'm East Coast, baby. All you weak back Southern boys don't know nothing about East Coast.
The Paul Feinbaum Show, tomorrow afternoon at 2, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
1911 Cigars is the premier cigar lounge in South Texas, providing quality, affordable cigars in a professional, inviting environment with a large covered patio with TVs. A BYOB establishment, 1911 Cigars strives to allow the avid cigar connoisseur a comfortable place to relax, socialize, network, and of course enjoy a great cigar. 1911 Cigars is available for private events and has private cabanas with TVs, fire pits, and heaters. 1911 Cigars at 207 South Main Street in Cibolo. Online at 1911cigars.com.
Progressive Snapshot can save you money based on how you drive and how much you drive. So the safer you drive, the more money you could save. Now, if you didn't hear that because you were yelling at another car while driving, let me say it again. You need to calm down. Yelling is just making everyone as stressed out as you are and letting them all know that you definitely aren't trying to save with Progressive Snapshot. And if you did hear it the first time because you weren't yelling at another car, nice work. You'd love Snapshot from Progressive because it rewards safe drivers. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California and North Carolina or from all agents.
You say goodbye, and I say hello.
With Mercari, your unneeded things can find a new life.
Hello, hello.
Easily list and sell,
I know why you say goodbye, and I say hello.
or discover great finds.
Hello.
Buy or sell almost anything.
You say goodbye, and I say hello.
Download Mercari on the app stores or at Mercari.com. Mercari, your marketplace.
You and your phone have been through a lot this past year. It's been your lifeline to the world. And now some big wireless company is telling you got to buy a new phone from them and sign their contract? They don't control you. With TracFone Wireless, you can keep the phone, number, and network you already have. Already got a 5G phone? Keep that too. Because TracFone runs on America's best networks now with 5G nationwide. Plus, we've got unlimited talk and text smartphone plans starting at just $20. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. 5G nationwide access requires a 5G capable device. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. I'd like to carry more parts at my shop, but I just don't have the room. Every time I go in the back to get wiper blades, I trip over a dusty crate of Honda air filters, then bang my head on some GTO radiator hoses. eBay Motors never has that problem. They stock all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, with everything from new headlights to vintage gear shifters. I can't imagine being able to stock 122 million parts. I mean, where would I get all those shelves? eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Ribs, burgers, chicken. Submit what you cooked on the grill or smoker, and you can win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market. Grilling with the Blitz. Online at sasportstar.com.
Hey, this is Jason Fitz, and you're on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Get those grilling photos in for tomorrow's Grilling with the Blitz. I want to see some chili photos. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He's Joe Reinagel.
Yeah, I hope so. I want to see some chili stuff, too. I'd like to have some chili tonight while I'm listening to this basketball game. After we're done tonight, 7 o'clock, Texas A&M Aggie basketball. Did you realize these guys are 15-2, Jason? 4-0 in SEC play. They're rolling,
Who are they
my
playing
friend.
tonight?
One of those weak teams out of the SEC. Kentucky?
Oh, yeah.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
The Greenbloods, right?
Yeah. Those guys. They're 12th ranked in the country, by the way. But you can hear it right here. Tip-off set for 7:30. You got a pregame that starts right after our show at 7 o'clock. And by the way, we are going to talk to the voice of the Texas A&M Aggies. That would be Andrew Monaco. That's coming up here in just a little bit. But that should be a great game, so keep it right here after the Blitz.
Monaco joins us at 6. At 5, we'll talk some Cowboys and Mike McCarthy's comments today with Mickey Spagnola from DallasCowboys.com. Programming note, Mike McCarthy will be on R&R in the morning tomorrow morning at 6:45 a.m. live. He isn't getting tacos this week, I can promise you that.
Doesn't deserve them.
Rob and Rudy got to start their show a little bit early, but it's the final wrap-up call of the season. So Mike McCarthy tomorrow morning on R&R in the morning, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. I told Rudy earlier, no softballs, man.
No softballs.
No.
I'm almost jealous that those guys get to do that interview. So I'm happy for them, and I can't wait to hear how that goes. I mean, that is must tune in radio tomorrow morning at 6:45.
And I would say, I mean, you could roll into the station and just grab some headphones and, bombard the interview if you want, except for I have a sneaky feeling that with the wintry weather tomorrow morning, those boys are going to stay home. Schoening is going to be the only one in the building at dark 30.
Well, we're going to hear from Bill Taylor, and he's going to tell us that it's not going to be as bad as we think.
Is that what he's going to say?
I predict that
it's
now.
It's not going to be last February.
So I think Rudy and Rob should be here tomorrow.
When they were making play, when they were like, all right, man, if it's really bad in the morning, just stay home. They're staying home.
Well, I tell you what, I'm really excited about that interview, and I can't wait to hear what the guys talk to Mike McCarthy about.
They'll ask Rudolph Renes. I hope they ask real quick. They do.
They will for sure.
They do a nice job of asking the tough questions without sounding like a jerk.
They do.
And they get a lot out of Mike McCarthy that way. I like the way they approach the interview.
Especially Rudy J. I love the way Rudy, he just kind of goes about it as just, I'm a nice guy. I'm just kind of asking this. I really don't want to, coach, but
I'm kicking you in the nuts at the same time.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And so Mike McCarthy smiles while he's getting kicked in the nuts. And so it's great. And so Rudy does a great job with that. Rob does too.
Yeah. Lots of different things to get into today, but Pledge, I know we're an hour into the show, or almost an hour into the show. On the screen, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook Live, instead of having your Twitter handle up, you've got When We Were Young. Are you excited about this concert festival that's going to be in Vegas in October? So I see this lineup, and it's live music that's not country. So Joe has no idea what we're talking about here.
No,
and
is that a band?
It's a festival.
Okay,
and it's basically your high school playlist. All these bands. It looks like an incredible lineup. It's going to suck.
Why?
They got like 60 bands. The tickets are ridiculous for GA, right? But I looked at the site, and I'm like, because you know how I am with music. I'm like, oh, man, this is awesome. And, then my daughter sends it to me. So I'm like, all right, I know what's going on here.
Yeah.
There's 60 bands.
Wow.
3 stages. Gates open at 11, and they say the festival's over at 11 p.m., so 12 hours. Now, I'm no mathematician, but I'm looking at 25, 30-minute sets for all those bands. That's going to suck.
Well, because you're just going to get into one band and they go off and another one comes in.
And then they're done.
Yeah.
And so, no, I mean, and the Vegas Fairgrounds where that's going, that's not the biggest area for this kind of show. That should be a 2 or 3 day festival. That would be awesome. But trying to get all that in one day, and I realize when we were young, we're all old now. No, that does not sound fun especially in October. That means you're giving up a college football Saturday for that. And that I'm not down with.
Well, I think when you're young, that's okay. And you want to go hear a concert for a couple of hours and hear all the songs at that band, right? And you don't want to, switch out all that time. But if you're young, like none of us are, not even Pledge.
No, Pledge is an old man.
Pledge, yeah. So, if you're young, you probably don't care because it's a microwave society now, right?
But again, though, I mean, just the turnover of that, it just seems that's just not enough. I mean, how long are the headliners going to play? I looked at it. That looked awesome, but then you look at the fine print and go, and $248 or whatever for a GA ticket.
Wow,
that sucks.
Yeah,
I mean,
I could be making money with that $248 in Vegas.
Exactly. Well, that's the other part. It's Vegas. Like I'm going to the Beale Street Music Festival end of April. Foo Fighters are headlining it
in Memphis.
Wow. That's but I know Foo Fighters, they're going to play for 3 hours.
Sure.
That. So I'm getting a full Foo Fighters and the rest of everything else. But
Beale Street's awesome.
Yes.
As opposed to that street in New Orleans.
Bourbon.
Yes.
Well, see, and Bourbon is,
Beale Street's great.
But Frenchman Street in New Orleans is freaking awesome.
Well, I like Memphis. I'd much rather go to Memphis than I would New Orleans.
And Mr. Titan fan, I can't believe you've never done Broadway in Nashville.
I have not, but we're going to.
That's a whole new level.
All right, brother.
That is a whole
we're
new
doing that. Road trip.
Mickey Spagnola from DallasCowboys.com will join us next to dissect what Mike McCarthy had to say. If you've struggled with dental problems all your life, you need to know about Dr. Mark Havercorn over at River City Oral Surgery. You know the deal. If you've had cavities followed by fillings, more fillings, root canals, crowns, and only to have that pain come back, stop. Stop spending lots of money and time at the dentist every year only to have that work fail. Dental implants at River City Oral Surgery might be the solution for you. And the best part about River City Oral Surgery is you know exactly what it is going to cost you before you walk in the door. It's direct patient care. All the prices are listed right on the website, rivercityoms.com. $1,300 per dental implant. That includes your exam, your x-ray, and all your post-op care. $20,900 to replace all the teeth in one jaw. With implant teeth. That's everything from start to finish. Financing is available. You just need a tooth pulled, it's $325. Wisdom teeth out, that's $1,000. You don't need a referral. You just call and make an appointment and go see Dr. Mark Havercorn and get rid of that tooth pain. Call 210-778-0002, 778-0002, or go online, rivercityoms.com for River City Oral Surgery.
I can't wait to watch you guys play.
We're ready for y'all.
Let's go.
The NFL playoff picture is coming together.
Let's go. Let's go.
Are you ready?
You got to go out there every play and earn it.
Hear it unfold on San Antonio Sports Star.
I like it.
We're serving up all the biggest games you can handle.
Dominate on 3, 1, 2, 3, dominate.
Get all the action live on San Antonio Sports Star.
180. Wait up.
ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
A new year comes with new excitement, new ambitions, new milestones. Is this the year you pop the question, have a child? Celebrate a major anniversary. At Diamonds Direct, we're here for you, now more than ever. With our vast selection of exquisite hand-picked diamonds, our world-renowned designer jewelry collections, our industry-leading warranties and guarantees, and our people. People with a passion for helping you mark any occasion with something that's both meaningful and timeless. And our commitment to providing exceptional value is stronger than ever in the new year. Whether you're just starting out on a tight budget or whether you're splurging on that 30th anniversary gift, Diamonds Direct will make sure you get the price that you expect from America's premier direct diamond importer. Welcome to a new year and welcome to Diamonds Direct, where extreme value combines with the ultimate luxury shopping experience to create that truly magical moment for the milestones in your life. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys at the shops at Lock on Terre.
Before we rodeo San Antonio, mosey on over to Dietz Tractor. We're busting out of the chutes early with a stock full of LS tractors. And this is no 8-second ride. Take your time and choose from a field that includes compact and utility tractors at low prices. Excel in your field with LS Tractor, 7-time winner of the EDA Dealer's Choice Award. Backed by a limited 6-year warranty, LS Tractors will give you more standard features and more performance for less money. These are some some of the hottest tractors around, and Dietz Tractor wants to sell them to you today at unbelievable prices. Dietz Tractor, where you get more tractor for less.
When others treat your fries as an afterthought, all you're left with are cold, soggy fries. That's why Wendy's new fries are ones you won't forget, guaranteed to be hot and crispy, or we'll replace them. We're talking natural cut, skin-on fries, perfectly seasoned with a hint of sea salt. In fact, they're even preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. These are fries so hot and crispy, they beg a new question.
What would you like with your fries?
Try them today, only at Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, taste preference based on a national taste test by an independent research company.
Are you thinking about selling your car? Don't get tricked with 2-minute offers only to spend 4 hours at a dealership. I want you to check out my friends at CarZeus. It's Rudy J here. CarZeus is not a dealership, so you don't need to worry about shady sales tactics just to lure you in the door. I'm talking about saving you time and hassle. Simply fill out a form about your car's condition at carzeus.com, and a local agent will text you an offer during business hours. No obligation. Plus, they pay the same day and even provide a courtesy Lyft ride home. That's carzeus.com.
Was the guy who wrecked the company vehicle distracted because he was too busy making a TikTok video instead of watching the road? He still only has 2 followers, his mom and dad. But now you're hurt and need help. If you or a loved one is hurt in a wreck, don't call just any dude. Call the dude, the personal injury dude. Mark Poling at Poling Law PLLC at pidude.com. That's pidude.com. Or call 210-201-0303 24 hours a day.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Are you looking for a job where you can have tons of fun and make great money? Twin Peaks is the team for you. We're looking for Twin Peaks girls, cooks, bussers, barbacks, and more. Text WORK 4TP to 85000 to apply. That's WORK, the number 4 TP to 85000 to apply.
Live, local, loud. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Joe Reinagle, Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He is Joe Reinagle. Mike McCarthy, head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, will be on R&R tomorrow morning with Rob Thompson and Rudy J at 6:45, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Final wrap-up with the guys as he joins them every week during the season, normally on a Friday. Season's over. Maybe he's going on vacation starting Friday, going back to Green Bay or wherever he calls home. But he did talk to the media today, had his press conference, his exit interview with the local media. Mickey Spagnola from DallasCowboys.com was there. Mickey, 3 days later, I'm still a little down on Mike McCarthy for doubling down on that final play when 3 days later he kind of feels like he's still right.
Well, he was mostly right. You know, if you go back and look at it, and I know this is not the popular opinion, but if the umpire had done his job, they would have gotten the ball spiked in time to get another play to throw to the end zone. Now, there was 3 or 4 reasons why they were in that situation at the end of the game, scrambling, and the reason why they lost the game. But I've gone back and looked at that play 10 times, and I think the thing that people need to understand, and maybe it was their fault that they didn't factor this into their timing mechanism when they practiced the play time and time again, if they ever got in that situation, is the umpire who lines up behind the offense. As Dak was sliding in at the 24-yard line, this guy was still behind the 50-yard line. And he had to come running up to try to get there in time to spot the ball. So I'm not sure if he fell asleep or what, but the head referee, Alex Kemp, lines up the same spot, same distance behind the offense, and he was running over the 40-yard line, the San Francisco 40-yard line, heading towards where the play was. And this guy was behind him. So next time, they better factor in that the umpire if you go that far, is going to need time to get there.
Well, we'll see if the officials talk about that in the offseason. I'm sure that will be a topic of conversation, no doubt about it. I got to ask you this, though, Mickey, because Jerry Jones has been really quiet, and it's still a big headline on a lot of the national sports shows. Is Mike McCarthy safe for next year? What are you hearing there in Dallas?
Well, that's why you don't listen to the national headlines. You listen to the local headlines because that was cleared up, we thought, on Monday when Stephen Jones did his radio segment here and said, when asked if Mike McCarthy was going to be the head coach for 2022, he said he absolutely will. And then today, when Mike was asked it during that just under 50-minute press conference, by the way, he said that he talked to Jerry Jones for quite a while after the game, talked to him again on Monday, and he said everything was positive, and we're going forward with the evaluation of the season. And when he said, and when he was asked to clarify if that meant that, his job was not in jeopardy, and he said, that's my understanding. So I don't know if that's going to clear things up or not, but I think we all need to understand that if you can create a headline nationally and put Cowboys in it, boy, you're going to get a lot of eyeballs.
You certainly are, although it does seem kind of odd to me that we haven't heard from Jerry since right after the game, after the loss against San Francisco. Odd that he canceled his appearance on 105.3 The Fan on Tuesday.
But because he was going to he was going to Madden's funeral.
Okay. Well,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, absolutely. It makes sense.
I mean, I guess he could have got on a phone and, called in to the show, right? I think he's on like at 8:30 on Tuesday mornings. But that was the reason that he canceled. I don't know if he rescheduled or not, but we'll see.
Well, Mickey, when you look at Jerry Jones, and you know this as well as anybody, this man wants another Super Bowl championship. I mean, as badly as anyone. So he's really got to be taking this hard, I would assume. Have you heard that? Is Jerry just kind of down in the dumps?
Oh, he was down in the dumps after the game. He said he was as frustrated as he's been because, there was a lot of optimism that this was the year to go further in the playoffs. I mean, there ain't a person, on that side of the building that's not frustrated with the loss. No one's happy. But again, if you start firing head coaches every time they lose a playoff game, boy, you're going to go through a lot of coaches, right?
Yep.
And so, and here's the thing. I don't know if this helps clear the perception up, but this notion got started after the 99 season when the Cowboys lost back-to-back playoff games, and he ended up firing Chan Gailey. Well, the truth of the matter is that Chan Gailey and Troy Aikman, I don't think we're seeing eye to eye on how to run an offense. And I think Jerry stepped in and said, okay, the quarterback's got to be happy, right? And so he made the move on a guy that had never been a head coach before. And so it wasn't because they got beat. They lost to Arizona one year in the first round, and then they got wiped out by Minnesota the next year. And it was 2 years in a row, but and he somewhat regretted that, but I think he understood that what offense Chan Gailey was trying to run was not conducive to basically Troy Aikman's ability to spray the ball around the field and get it down the field. He was trying to run more of a West Coast offense.
Mickey Spagnola from DallasCowboys.com joining us here on the Blitz, and you put it on a tee for me, Mickey, bringing up Troy and how the offenses are run. I don't know if you heard Troy's comments this morning on the radio up there in Dallas, but critical of the systems, and he uses the term the coordinators. It's all about scheme rather than this corner is playing soft. let's throw the ball, and said, CeeDee Lamb had 1 catch. Michael Irvin in my day would have had 10. Is he criticizing Dak Prescott there? Is he criticizing Kellen Moore and the offense? And if it's Kellen Moore, does Dak Prescott have the ability to ignore what the play was called in by the coordinator and run what he is seeing out there on the field?
You mean does Dak have that ability?
Does Dak have that ability?
Yeah. They have checks at the line of scrimmage. And I understand that Troy was criticizing Kellen Moore. I'll guarantee you that. And here's a guy that's going to interview for 3 or 4 head coaching jobs. Yep. They didn't get criticized during the season. They got criticized after this loss. And I get it. Jason, the Cowboys never lose a game like somebody else was better and beat them. There's always a reason, right? There's always somebody.
You got to blame somebody, right? Yeah.
Right. I mean, I've done this, right? I was just getting ready to write down in my column for tonight. I was going to list all the times that they've lost a game in the playoffs since they won the Super Bowl. And hopefully I've got enough room to do that because it's a long list.
Internet's unlimited.
Right. Everybody. Yeah. Right. Everybody's got to have a reason why. And now, the blame is on Dak. The blame is on Kellen Moore. I get it. The offense did not perform well. I think San Francisco had something to do with that. They were pretty darn good defensively, and maybe they had a better defensive scheme than the Cowboys had an offensive scheme. But they were able, with their personnel, to pull it off. At times, they can, he has the right to change the play. He can check out of it and check into something else, and you see him do it, right? And one of the problems was he ended up getting sacked 5 times, right? And he got hit throwing the football. He got hit 14 more times, and they couldn't run the football. But I understand that it all falls on the quarterback's shoulders. But, as Bill Parcells always said, the quarterback's not out there playing singles. And I've said that, and I've repeated it so many times. But they just got beat. I mean, they got beat, and maybe they got beat by a better team. They certainly were better defensively than the Cowboys were. And offensively, they did just enough, right? And they were able to run the ball. They ran the ball for 167 yards and kind of ate up the clock and came up with all these big plays. So I just thought there was a lot of reasons why they lost this game other than that not getting that last play. I think when we talked, and I don't know, I wish I had a recording last time we talked, but in my column on Friday before the game, I said these 3 things the Cowboys have to take care of. 1, they have to be able to run the football. They couldn't do it. 2, they had to be able to stop Deebo Samuel. They didn't come close to doing that. And 3, they had to, if they weren't going to get multiple takeaways in the game, they had to eliminate the big plays that they had been giving up to teams all season long. Like, you got to get teams off the field on downs, not just takeaways. And San Francisco ended up, get this, San Francisco ended up with 15 plays of double-digit yardage, meaning 10 yards or more. And those 15 plays totaled 240 of their 341 yards in 15 plays. The big plays did them in defensively. So, if you weren't going to score 30 points, the defense needed to step up. But if you can't protect your quarterback and you can't run the ball, you're probably going to have some problems.
Well, Mickey, that brings up a good point, and a lot of the blame is shifted to that offensive line. And let's face it, the second half of the season, the offensive line showed some weakness. It wasn't just this final game. I mean, there were some other games where the offensive line wasn't that good. Do you think moving forward that the Cowboys will try and address what they need to do with that offensive line? And of course, we're talking about some big names like Tyron Smith and Lael Collins. And is it time maybe that do those guys have anything left in the tank is the question I want to ask.
Well, I think you've hit a bullseye there. They better address it. I mean, if you look at what happened, I'm not, and I understand Tyron Smith. He had a couple injuries, and I'm sure he was playing through things, and they figured that was better than putting somebody out there with no experience whatsoever. I didn't understand La'el Collins. He just didn't. If you think back to the 2019 season, I thought he played at a Pro Bowl level, and that, he should have been voted into the Pro Bowl. I thought he was one of their best offensive linemen that year. And then the next year he has the hip deal. He misses the whole season after having hip surgery. And then this year, the suspension to start the season, he just never got back to playing to the level he had played in 2019. And I think it showed up in the game. I think it was obvious, right? And then they struggled at center. They struggled at left guard. And then Tyron Smith ended up with, giving up a sack and a hold and a false start. It was just, they've got to come to some sort of decision on what they're going to do with that offensive line. And to me, right now, and I don't know what the draft's going to look like or not, but at number 24, if there's a versatile offensive lineman there, maybe somebody that's a tackle that can play guard too, I think that's where they need to go. They need to address that offensive line before you sit here like they did in 2010 and go, oh, our offensive line just got old. We got to do something about it. And then when Jason Garrett took over, they drafted the next year Tyron Smith. What was it? 2 years later, Travis Frederick, and then the year after that, Zach Martin. And they rebuilt the offensive line. Now, I'm not saying you got to spend a first-round draft choice on every position on the offensive line, but I think it's time for them to start looking at getting younger and maybe adding some talent to that fivesome.
Couldn't agree more. Mickey Spagnola from DallasCowboys.com. Man, I didn't expect the Cowboys to be out in the first round, but want to thank you for joining us every week throughout the season, man. It was a fun run. Always appreciate your insight. I know we'll see you in Oxnard if we don't see you sooner in person. I'm sure we'll have you on throughout the offseason as news continues to break. And I know you've got a long column to write tonight. I'll look for it around midnight when you're done.
Well, it may be then by the time I finish. But look, I enjoy doing this with you guys. And yeah, if they kept winning, you would have kept having guests on your show, right? Now you got to find content.
That's right. That's right.
Soon it's all Spurs down here. You know how that goes, man.
Right. Yeah, I would imagine. But
still Cowboys aftermath, though.
McCarthy's been pretty responsible. That he spent, I think my recorder stopped at almost 47 minutes today. And the fact that he's going to do it with you guys tomorrow, or whatever day you said he was.
Tomorrow morning.
He's a pretty stand-up guy, and he answered all the questions today. And I don't know if anybody has time to listen to the whole 47 minutes, but I'm sure it'll be on DallasCowboys.com for anybody's listening sake.
Absolutely. Mickey, always appreciate it. Get to writing, my friend. We'll talk soon.
Appreciated the opportunity to be with you guys this season. Take care.
Mickey Spagnola from DallasCowboys.com joining us here on the Blitz. We'll react to what he had to say, but some breaking news just here locally. For all you driving around with kids, tomorrow's going to suck. Northside, SAISD, and NEISD have all canceled school tomorrow because of the forecasted winter weather.
Well, we're going to get the true story on that coming up about 5:45. Bill Taylor's coming on with us to tell us, and it may not be as bad as originally advertised.
Although the school districts going ahead and putting out that they're canceling school tomorrow. I mean, with the buses and already with shortages, maybe they're just saying this isn't going to be worth the fight.
Right? Yeah, and that's probably smart. Yeah, that's smart.
But you look at it. But again, though, it's after 5 o'clock. And if you've got kids in school and now they've got the day off tomorrow. Now, the one thing that the pandemic has taught us all is how to adapt quickly. But at 5 o'clock, it's not a late start. It's no school at all.
No school.
No school at all.
Yeah, so a lot of people calling in sick tomorrow. So be ready for that if you're a business owner or company owner, but that's good. You don't have kids.
Yeah.
You have kids, but not that ride the bus to school anymore.
And she's not even in school.
I know.
I mean, it's weird.
So you can't use that excuse.
Well, I need to stay home and, I don't know, run the grill, make sure that it's doing okay.
Again, I'm just not sure that you ever do that anyway. I have not seen it personally.
I sent you a photo the other day of the grill actually going.
I didn't see you standing there, though. It's just a grill with food.
I took the photo.
What, was Joanna cooking?
No.
Yeah, see, I've never seen it. I have not seen it. I hear all these stories.
You've been invited.
I did, and I was invited once, and the stuff was already made. And I don't know. You may have gotten that from Pinkerton's.
Dude, my stuff is good. It ain't Pinkerton's good. I mean, let's be honest. You guys would have all known if that was from Pinkerton's.
Okay, maybe Bill Miller's then.
It was better than that. And you would have known. Like, man, this is come on, man.
I got to see it in person. I haven't seen it yet.
Dude, I mean.
And I don't want to be invited over and it's already done. Okay, I want to get there from the beginning of the process.
I'll tell you what, because you're apparently into this anyway. Go to Tri-County and pick out your steak. Bring it over, and we will cook it.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, I was talking to Sam. He and his wife went to something the other day, a date night, where they had to cook their own meal.
Dude, yeah, I was in here when he was talking about that. That's a great deal.
Is it?
It is.
How?
Let me tell you something, because it's not a restaurant. It's not a restaurant.
All right, but if I'm going out on a date, and what did he say? It was $60, $80 a person?
Something like that,
All
yeah.
right, and you've got to bring your own alcohol.
Right.
So if I'm going to go spend $150 or in that range on dinner, I'm not doing all the work.
Here's the deal. It's an experience.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you got to experience things. I got this as a Valentine's Day gift right before COVID. It was in February, right before COVID hit, so people were still normal.
Yeah.
Right? So we went to this thing, and it's a cooking class.
Uh-huh.
That's what he was talking about. So you go, and they have this deal, and you cook it yourself, but they teach you how to do it. And it's good stuff. And I had a steak. So I got to cook my own steak.
And you had to bring your own steak, or they provide the meal?
They provided the meal. But you go in the back, and it's a huge restaurant, right? With where there's stoves everywhere.
Yeah,
and
where
ovens
you just said it's not a restaurant.
It's not a restaurant. I misspoke. It's not a restaurant. It's a
kitchen.
No, it's like a store where you buy restaurant supplies.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Maggie took me there, and you know, I'll be honest with you, I was like that when the first said, really? I don't. But we just started dating. I mean,
you're willing to do anything.
Sure.
You're still a newlywed. I hear a lot of things out of your mouth. I just couch as newlywed.
By the time I left there, I'm like, this was great.
Would you do it again?
I would do it again.
Would you?
Yes, I would. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I'm telling you, Jason. See, you know, it's just like the whole pedicure thing. I know you enjoy that.
I do.
But some guys are like, I'm not doing that.
I wouldn't mind going and learning how to cook something, or, you know, you see all these, you know, grill master classes or that kind of, I mean, I get that. But if it's date night,
it's an experience,
and I'm
Jason.
spending $150, I'm going to sit at the table and they're going to bring me the food. Because what if I suck at making this meal? What if it doesn't turn out the way
you can't suck? There are world famous chefs in there teaching you exactly what to do.
I would rather the world famous chef prepare me the meal.
Well, they're not preparing meals there. That's not what they do. They teach you how to do it, and you do it. It's dude, I'm telling you, it's a great experience.
Again, that would be like, what was the place where you brought your own steak?
You Are Cooked.
Yeah.
I like that place.
It was the dumbest idea ever.
I thought it was great.
Are they still around?
No, they're not.
Apparently, a lot of people didn't think that was a good idea.
I thought it was great because you could make your own steak, and if I want it medium rare, I'm going to make it medium rare.
Again, I could tell the cook, I want my steak medium rare.
How many times unless you go to a fancy place, how many times does it come out medium rare? Not very often.
All right, so you're particular.
I'm particular.
Are you the one? Are you one that will send a meal back if it ain't right?
I don't want them to spit on it. Right?
Exactly.
I don't want that to happen.
Exactly.
So no, I'm not going to do that. But it's an experience. I got to class you up a little bit, Minix. You know, you need some class. You need some
sure.
different experiences.
Absolutely. You know, I'm next time, you know, I'm going to go for the experience to the oil change place and change my own oil while they teach me how to do it. That's what this sounds like to me.
It's not the same
thing.
thing.
It's a cooking class or it's, you know, I'm going to dinner.
Can you bring your own wine if you're changing your oil?
Well, I don't think wine.
I don't know.
But you can bring your own 6-pack. I mean, that's kind of where it comes. If I'm going out to dinner, I want to sit down at the restaurant and enjoy that. I don't want to cook.
You know what? You want to shock the hell out of your wife? Take her to that. She's going to go, who are you?
She might. And then she's going to say, what did you do wrong? I mean, let's be honest.
It was a great experience, and I would do it again.
It's like that painting place, right? Where they go and somehow they try to turn you into Picasso. You know, my art always looks like crap. That's what I'm worried about, what happened with the meal. And you've got these great artists trying to teach you how to paint.
But with the cooking, it's different. I mean, it's a no-fail thing. You can't fail. They're teaching you what to do and showing you what to do, and it's fabulous. I'm telling you, it's great.
Have you
see, even Pledge would do that.
Have you taken that recipe that you did and done it a second time?
No.
All right, then I rest my
not.
case.
It was an experience.
So you learned how to do it,
dude. It's the experience. It's the experience.
I'm with you.
That's all.
I'm good with that. It's still not going.
Class you up, Minix.
Spurs make a trade. They've got a game tonight. We'll talk about the silver and black as we continue here on the Blitz. You know, injuries do happen. If you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need to know about Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries, and he has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. And if you need surgery, they'll refer you to the specialist to get you out of pain. There is no reason for you to be in pain. If you're hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Schedule an appointment by calling 210-804-5490, 804-5490, or learn more online, tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com. Let's get a Sports Center update from James Pledger.
Obviously, Joe's never seen me cook. I can fall off the floor there. That's one place I can fail down.
Dude, he can't even heat up raviolis.
It's bad. Dan Quinn, though, he's working his way back up after being the Cowboys defensive coordinator for 1 year. You can add the New York Giants to the teams that have requested to interview the Cowboys defensive coordinator, along with the Bears, Broncos, Dolphins, and Vikings this week. The favorite for the job is Denver currently, according to reports. The Houston Texans continue their coaching search to replace David Culley as they have requested an interview with Rams offensive coordinator Kevin O'Connell. He is interviewing with the Broncos and Vikings as well. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
The Roo Pub is the best place to watch a game. Football, basketball, the big fights, they have them on at the Roo on their 3 massive 170-inch laser screens and TVs all around. Come hungry, the food is fantastic, and the kitchen is open until 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. The Roo Pub has the best darts area in town, indoor cornhole and weekday happy hour from 11 to 6. For lunch, dinner, or late at night, and the best place to watch a game, get into the Roo Pub at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson, owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. And for the past 27 years, I have represented people in our community who have been injured because of negligent drivers of cars, 18-wheelers, and company vehicles. I really want you to know that if you're involved in a collision, you need to contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. All you may know about an insurance company is what you see on television. If you have ever been forced to make a claim after being injured in an auto collision, there are no jokes, no geckos, no cavemen, no professional athlete endorsers. Just you against a giant insurance company that is represented by skilled adjusters and attorneys who have one job: pay as little as possible. If you've been injured in a collision, please contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. I, of course, want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com. That's all one word, alawyerforus.com.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. Have you ever cooked a really fine gourmet meal? Yeah, me neither. But I'm told it all comes down to the ingredients. And when I need ingredients to improve my car, the place I go is eBay Motors. Whether you roasted your last transmission, graded your current floor mats, or pureed your side view mirror on a lamppost, eBay Motors has the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them. And by the way, if you recently fired up your grill, don't worry, eBay Motors has grills too. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can really control your savings. Because when you drive less, you save more with pay per mile. So you're really in control of your savings, only paying for the miles you drive. Yeah, life is good when you're in the driver's seat. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company, Norfolk, Illinois.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Step up your lunch game at Twin Peaks. Light and hearty combos put together for you starting at just $7.99, featuring savory soups, crisp salads, and a variety of sandwiches to satisfy every craving. Enjoy your next lunch break at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
The play is in. The Blitz with Joe Reinagel and Jason Minix. ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Because one day I'll leave you a phantom to lead you in the summer to join the Black Parade.
Wow. All right, Blitz. Generally, you'll figure out the music that makes sense with the segment. What is that? Explain what the hell you're playing and why.
Well, you brought up the We Were Young tour earlier. One of the co-headliners is My Chemical Romance.
Okay.
Their hit song is The Black Parade.
Well, I know that. I'm just trying to figure out how that goes with the segment.
The Spurs are the silver and black.
Oh.
Kind of feels like they're marching towards a funeral after the trade. Black Parade is a funeral.
Okay.
That kind of sounded like Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
That's a stretch, man, but I'm with you. I mean, you'll do whatever for the When We Were Young tour that looks great,
wait a minute. So
looks
this is the kind of bands we're having that you're paying $250 to go see 25 minutes of?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Like I said, you wouldn't like it.
No, I wouldn't.
Your daughters all want to go.
No, they don't.
All 5 of them.
No, they don't. I raised them better than that.
No, you didn't.
I did.
I promise you. I promise you.
Is that a Beatles wannabe band?
You're just sounding old, man. Don't talk to me.
No, I'm serious.
Have you ever heard of My Chemical Romance?
No.
All right.
Have you?
Yes. Ask your daughter.
My Chemical Romance.
Yes. Text Casey real quick and ask her.
I will.
Does she want to go to the When We Were actually just go?
I'm just going to ask her if she's ever heard of that band.
Chemical Romance.
Yes.
Ryan Nagel texting his daughter in the middle of the show makes sense because he's going to feel old now. We can call him grandpa because he is one.
That's true.
But I promise you, anybody that has kids between, 18 and 30 or pledge at 50, 40, you're 40. got a message from their kid about that, or their kid shared it on social media and you saw that. I'm just telling you, it's the high school playlist. It's all right there. And it looks phenomenal, but not all in one day. There's no way they do that entire festival in one day, unless they book 60, figuring 25 are going to cancel because of COVID.
Well, I'm happy the way they've got it figured now. Only 20 minutes of these guys. I don't know if I could make 20 minutes of that. I'd be about 5 there
Get
and
off
then
my
move
lawn.
on. Well, exactly.
Turn it down, you whippersnappers.
I swear it sounded like a remake of the Beatles, which wasn't bad, but
the Spurs play Oklahoma City tonight.
A minute, let's get off of that quick.
I'm just saving you the embarrassment and all the old man tweets.
Nothing embarrasses me. Nothing. Nothing.
I know, but still. Cleto Rodriguez, I thought he was texting about this, but he's not. He's texting about UR Cooks.
Oh.
Yeah, what's next? UR Valet, park it yourself, but pay them extra. See, Cleto, you're working on your new bit, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you
I
tuning
hope he
in.
gives us credit for that at his next comedy act.
Cleto,
I love Cleto,
yeah, he's
by the
great.
way. Yes.
And you're not going to get credit for that.
All right.
You're not. But UR Valet, it's the same thing.
No,
you don't
it's
go out
not
on a
the
date.
same thing.
I mean, that's like Cleto hosting an open mic night. Take her out. It's date night, but you do the comedy. You're not very funny. You're not a good cook. Let the pros do their thing.
It's an experience. Okay.
It's like karaoke.
Which is
Again,
another great thing.
bad experience.
That's another great
There's a
thing.
whole lot of people that shouldn't be on a stage, just like there's a whole lot of people that shouldn't be cooking an $80 meal.
Dude, why do you want to take my dreams away? You know, I feel like a rock star when I'm on that karaoke stage.
We're going to go to, what's that place over there on Vance Jackson? Dad's? Dad's, that's the famous karaoke bar?
Dad's.
Dude, you should see this place.
Good place?
No.
Oh.
But it's great.
Okay.
But it's interesting. I'll just say that. We'll take you in there. We will let you sing some My Chemical Romance karaoke style.
Now I want to sing something that's
and
good.
Michael
actually.
Jimenez are going to have a date night. What would you sing for karaoke?
You know me, right? I'm a country guy.
All right.
A little George Strait. That would be good. I can do that.
See, I think George would be bad
You've
at
never
karaoke.
heard my rendition of The Chair? Oh, my gosh. Are you kidding?
So on the Spurs injury report tonight,
I may sing it better than George, actually.
There are no injuries on the injury report tonight for the Spurs.
Better than George, maybe.
Better than George, maybe.
Maybe.
Better than George, maybe. If you're not a George fan, you're probably right.
Well, most people around
if you're
these
a George
parts
fan,
are, though.
somebody wants to burn your house down.
Most people around here are. I guarantee you most people around here know George Strait and like George Strait's music.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And you're going to go into a karaoke bar and sing The Chair.
Yes.
You're going to slow everything down.
Yeah, it's a great song.
At a karaoke bar.
That may be his best song.
A whole bunch of drunk people.
Maybe his best song.
Don't want to slow it down
There'd
like
be
that.
women like, oh. They'd be throwing stuff.
They would.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't mean hard. What are the Spurs doing tonight?
What are they throwing at you? Bottles like Cowboy
bottles.
fans?
No.
You're gonna go all Barry Manilow and get the panties and the bras thrown at you? You think you have those kind of tones?
I'm a happily married man. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, but still, though, I mean.
Yeah, I believe that'd be like.
But do you really want those ladies to throw their underwear?
Maybe not. I've never been to Dad's, so I don't know.
I'm just so there's no injuries tonight for these Spurs.
Thank God.
I mean, when you look at their injury report, Trey Jones is available. Primo's on G League assignment. Zach Collins is returned to competition reconditioning. Devontae Kaycock's on G League. There's no and the new guy, Juancho Hernan Gomez, is not with the team yet.
Well, no, he's not there yet because that just got done.
I think it's the first time all season the injury report doesn't have any injuries.
And no Bryn Forbes either, by the way.
Yeah, he got traded away.
He did, but they're playing Oklahoma City tonight.
Should be an easy win.
It should be.
You know what? Last time you talked about what was going to be an easy win, what happened?
The Houston Rockets
They got trucked by the Rockets.
They did. You know, I'm happy for Bryn Forbes, though, because, everybody, can I share a little secret with you, right? I went on a podcast that they do at Ken's 5, and I said before the season began, because Bryn Forbes had a phenomenal preseason. So I'm saying, you know what? Brent Forbes is going to be the leader of this team, and he just might be an all-star. And then he let me down. He completely let me down because he came out of the gates and he just sucked. Okay?
I'm glad we didn't hear that audition tape.
He sucked, okay? And really didn't do anything until, recently. I mean, he's made a few shots.
Yeah.
Long overdue. But I'm happy for him because now he's going to a contender. I don't think Denver's going to do anything, but they need a shooter.
They do.
Off the bench.
And this might have been Pops just doing him a solid.
Doing him a solid.
Thad Young, you're
Absolutely.
next.
Yeah.
And we'll see what else happens near the trade deadline. I wonder if this trade helps open up some minutes for Josh Primo. And again, he's at the G League now. I don't know that. I mean, this trade, I don't know. Did Brian Wright answer the phone? Hey, we need a third. Can you do that? Do you need a guy? Let's go with it. Because the guy that they got on the trade, what's his name? Juancho Hernan Gomez.
Right.
I can't quite say it the way Carolina Teague did this morning on R&R in the morning. But I don't even know if this guy's actually ever going to play for the Spurs.
Well, he may not. He didn't play much for Boston. And I think he hadn't been in the league that long and has played for 3 teams, I think, overall. So no, and now they've got a bunch of big guys. I mean, they got a bunch of them, right? So especially with Collins coming back, and he will be back. He thinks he's only going to play in the G League for 4 games. And in fact, I think their season ends here pretty quick. But so this was just I think doing Bryn Forbes is solid. I think that's all this was.
Now the Spurs get Juancho Hernan Gomez, a 2028 second-round pick.
Yes.
And cash considerations. Well, I can't wait to see what that 2028 second-round pick does for the Spurs. That doesn't help with the immediate rebuild. When I first saw second-round pick, I'm like, all right, we're stacking some picks for next year. Cool. 2028.
Well, Spurs Twitter is an amazing place, as you know, right? So I already saw some guy had it all lined up how this is going to work, and that 2028 pick will be when, Jakob Poeltl is 31, and they'll be building for the future at that point in time. And I'm like, really, dude?
They're like forecasters, man. They let you know when it's going to rain, when it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold tomorrow.
Wow.
How bad is it going to be? We'll talk about it with Bill Taylor from Ken's TV. Billy T joins us next here on the Blitz. Now, you think about some of this weather that's coming in. If you're having any issues at the house concerning electrical work, you need an electrician. You need to know Hill Electric is available 24/7 for both residential and commercial needs. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. Whether you need additional outlets or USB ports added, you need to fix that fuse that always blows, you got a flickering light, any other kind of electrical need, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price. Never a service charge, always free estimates. If you're a business, you need to rework your office, let Hill Electric design your socially distant space to ensure each workstation has the proper electrical needs. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. 404-9074 or hill-electric.com.
Pride.
Hey, listen up.
Tradition.
Let's keep it going.
Football. The NFL playoff picture is coming together. Hear it unfold on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. Hi, I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Come into one of our 11 locations and check out the new Kubota L2501 package deal, which includes a 4-wheel drive tractor with a hydrostatic transmission, a front loader, a rear mower, a box blade, and a trailer, all for one low price. With a deal this good, you can afford a Kubota from Ewald Kubota. Check out our package specials at ewaldkubota.com.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson, owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. And for the past 27 years, I have represented people in our community who have been injured because of negligent drivers of cars, 18-wheelers, and company vehicles. I really want you to know that if you're involved in a collision, you need to contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. All you may know about an insurance company is what you see on television. If you have ever been forced to make a claim after being injured in an auto collision, there are no jokes, no geckos, no cavemen, no professional athlete endorsers. Just you against a giant insurance company that is represented by skilled adjusters and attorneys who have one job: pay as little as possible. If you've been injured in a collision, please contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. I, of course, want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com. That's all one word, alawyerforus.com.
This view was worth a hike.
Right? And it's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Yes, I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
Calling all coffee lovers. Hold on to your mugs because Panera's Unlimited Sip Club is offering the unreal deal of unlimited coffee for only $8.99 a month. Don't worry, you're not dreaming, because when we say unlimited, we mean unlimited. Unlimited boosts all day long. Unlimited smells of your favorite aroma. Unlimited sips of premium hot and iced coffees. Sign up on our app today to get your first month free. Panera, the familiar meet fantastic. Plus tax, first free month, limited time offer. Restrictions apply. For complete details, visit www.panerabread.com/unlimited-sip-club.
Because everyone needs lunch.
This deal is delicious.
Oh my God, are you choking?
Halftime with Michael Jimenez.
I'm going to be okay now.
Tomorrow at noon, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hey, it's Greeny, and I've only got 10 seconds, so here's my plug. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He is Joe Reinagel. Still working over there at Ken's TV, doing the 10 o'clock until the end of February.
Yes, sir.
Which means you sit next to this guy on a nightly basis and have for 25 years.
Long time.
Bill Taylor, our go-to guy for, 14 years of this radio station. When there's bad weather coming, we always bring in Bill Taylor because he's the best.
Well, thank you, Jason. That's awfully nice. How you doing, Joe?
Hey, Billy, what's happening?
This is a little weird.
It is. It is a little weird.
On the radio. Wow.
Well, Bill, I just want you to know when Jason said, the weather's going to be bad tomorrow. It could be dangerous. And, Joe, who do you know that is the best weather guy in town? And I went,
well, he's not available, so let's call Billy T.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't say, I got an app for that. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
So, Bill, it is going to be, is it going to be bad tomorrow or what?
I think we're backing off of this, guys. We started the day with a winter weather watch going into effect at 3 a.m. Now, the National Weather Service has backed that off, and it's a winter weather advisory. So in the family of advisories and watches, this means that we don't expect as big an impact of sleet and accumulation. In fact, we're not expecting any accumulation in the city. If there's going to be any, it'll be bridges and overpasses in Texas Hill Country. Now, with that said, a lot of folks will be traveling I-10 or some of those secondary roads north of here. And when that happens, watch the bridges and overpasses because they're surrounded by air. So that's where icing is most likely to occur. Here in the city, we do have a lot of flyovers. We've got a lot of overpasses. So that's a concern. But the city did a wonderful job today of pre-treatment. And so there's a lot of those, chemicals on the roads ready to melt anything that does stick. I just don't see it happening, and neither does the National Weather Service. The models have really backed off, seeing a lot of this materialize come tomorrow.
No.
So let me get into the timing. The timing is about 4 a.m. across the Hill Country, maybe by about mid-morning here in the city.
All right, so a lot of these school districts, North Side, Northeast, East Central,
SAISD, Somerset.
Yeah,
they've already they didn't delay school. They just canceled it all tomorrow.
I was pretty shocked. I'll be honest with you that they pulled the trigger on that so quickly because I think it's a better safe than sorry. And plus, they're so understaffed at so many of the schools.
Sure.
We were just talking about the fact that maybe it's a little bit easier for them to do that considering the current state of affairs. And, at least just, take every precaution because, yes, it could still happen. And keep in mind, guys, it's not just a morning threat. We're definitely under this winter weather advisory until 6 a.m. Friday. So there's actually an opportunity for a little bit of light sleet tomorrow afternoon. Like at this time tomorrow, we could be dealing with a little bit of sleet mixed in with the light rain.
So are you saying it would be wise for Joe and I to do the Blitz tomorrow from the Minix Kitchen studio as opposed to driving all the way over to Eisenhower Road?
I would be in the kitchen. I would definitely take every precaution and just get Joe in the kitchen.
What makes you think that I want to get in Minix's kitchen?
Because I'll have the grill going.
Yeah, sure. You've been there before, and you're going to make him some crispy dogs, Joe Ryan Eagle.
Yeah, that's gourmet cooking, brother.
See, that's serious gourmet cooking.
Yeah, Taylor's had the crispy dogs.
Sharon Coe getting ready for Eyewitness News at 6. And she's tried those dogs.
Yeah, she liked them too.
All right, so
yeah,
Bill,
no, they're excellent.
Yep.
How cold is it going to be tomorrow?
So, very. I'm going to tell you right now.
That's why he's the best.
It's going to be, exactly. It's going to be mid-30s all day, wind chills in the 20s. The winds will start in about 3 to 4 hours. We'll start getting breezy. And then by about 11 o'clock or midnight, the Arctic air starts to spill in. So we won't get cold right away. We're going to get cold overnight. So you'll wake up, it'll be about 40 degrees, and that might be the warmest of the day early tomorrow morning. Then the rest of the day, under the clouds, the light rain, a little bit of sleet mixed in from time to time, zero accumulation. But again, temperatures will struggle, and they'll be in the mid-30s, and wind chills will be in the mid-20s because the winds, guys, are going to be between 25 and 30 just about all day tomorrow.
Well, we've escaped old man winter most of the winter, so I guess we're due for a big cold front. But Bill, I got to bring you into our world for just a minute because we just got a report that Dan Quinn, the Cowboys defensive coordinator, is going to interview for the Giants head coaching job. What do you think about that?
I like the sound of a defensive coordinator, as a head coach. I mean, defense wins championships, and we're a little overdue. The G-men, we're overdue for a winning season, actually.
Did you not see your offense run a quarterback sneak on 3rd and long this year? Do you really think defense is the biggest issue there at the New York Giants?
That's a good point. At least we didn't do it in a playoff game. But, yeah, I will say, when we get to the playoffs, Jason, we win ball games. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing you can count on the New York Giants.
Bill Taylor, have you heard of the band My Chemical Romance?
Yes, I have, actually.
You haven't.
I really have. I know my music.
Have you heard of the music festival in Vegas in October called When We Were Young?
Now that I did not. No.
Okay. Well, they announced it yesterday. There's like 60 bands, and Ryan Eagle's not heard of any of them.
I haven't heard of them.
Ryan Eagle's hoping like Foghat gets back together, or
now that's music.
Get the reunion tour going.
Are you kidding? He wants Conway Twitty,
George Strait. Come on,
it's Dolly Parton's birthday. He wants Dolly Parton bump music. We told him no.
I need to class up this show. Apparently,
we don't need islands in the stream.
Exactly. But guys, bundle up because here's the deal. Once this cold gets here overnight, here's the thing. It's going to stay for several days. I mean, we're not going to get out of the 40s until probably Saturday at the earliest, maybe not until Sunday, and freezing mornings. So bring in everything tonight and keep it in because I'm telling you that we're going to deal with some 20-degree mornings through Sunday.
All right.
Well, that sucks, Bill. I was hoping for better news.
I know. It's just going to be cold and we'll be all right. All right, we got to get ready for Eyewitness News. I got to make sure my hair's in good shape here.
Your hair's fine.
How's Ryan Eagle's hair looking?
It looks good, doesn't it? It's always perfect.
I know lighting was a big demand he had when going over.
And I've got my little circle light right here too. It's perfect.
Yeah, Ryan Eagle brought in lights.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's a ring light, Joe. A ring light.
A ring light.
Yeah, well, whatever it is. Billy T, man, always appreciate the insight.
When he first went to the gym and he said, "Yeah, I really had a good time on this machine. I think it's called the eucalyptus."
I think we're out of time, Bill. We ran out of time.
Are you kidding? The weatherman never runs out of time. Bill's running long.
Exactly.
Cut sports by 30 seconds.
Go over my time and eat up some sports.
Yeah, exactly.
And tell Sharon Coe hello for us too, will you?
I will.
All right.
You guys take care.
Appreciate it. Bill Taylor, he's the best. So is Sharon Coe. I hope she ends up with the permanent 10 p.m. anchor spot.
I do too. I'm a big fan of hers, and I hope she does too. And she's one of the nicest people you ever meet.
She is fantastic.
Yes, she is.
Fantastic. And the weather is going to suck for the next couple of days.
It's going to be cold for a couple of days.
So we've got to lobby the boss. We got to do the show at home tomorrow.
We need chilly pictures for tomorrow.
We do.
Yeah.
And again, grilling with the Blitz tomorrow.
Yeah.
SASportsStar.com. Submit your photos. You can win a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market.
We want chili.
You want chili?
Chili.
You want chili?
I do.
I think we're doing the show from home tomorrow.
Spicy.
If Rob and Rudy do the show, if they're both at their houses tomorrow, you heard Bill Taylor say the weather might be worse in the afternoon.
If we're doing the show from the Minnick's kitchen, there better be. I want to see you barbecue.
We will.
Okay.
We will, because I mean, with the Traeger, it's easy to grill when it's because you don't have to go check on it. You just look at your app.
Goodness.
Make sure it's all good. We will have some steaks tomorrow, but we'll make a deal. Even though Rob and Rudy aren't here to make this deal, if they're in their kitchens tomorrow, we're in my kitchen.
Okay.
You don't have the home setup yet.
I don't have the home setup. I haven't been here long enough.
Yeah.
They're waiting to see if I pan out.
We live
first.
close enough. It's a very safe drive. You don't have to get on highways. I think that will work.
By the way, my daughter's heard of them too. And so like back in middle school, she said.
Well, I told you, it's your growing up playlist.
Middle school. I never heard that at the house.
Yes, you did.
Maybe I did. I thought it was the Beatles.
You told her turn that down. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, will join us next, A&M, with a big game tonight that you can listen to right here on San Antonio Sports Star. If you're shopping for a new vehicle, go see my friends over at Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex. Very easy for me to tell you about and recommend Ancira because I am a longtime Ancira customer. Through the years, I've bought many vehicles from Ancira, and it's because of their great customer service before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. They're going to make sure you're getting the vehicle you want with all the options and features that you're looking for. They'll give you great value on your trade-in, the best rebates and financing options that are available. And you know price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira I-10 Auto Complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
It's time to get your hoops on. The NBA season is off to a fast start. North, south, east, west. Step back for three. Bang, got it. The courts are firing with board busting and rim wrecking in your face balling. Deep three straight away. Oh, we got another one. And we got it all covered. Everything a fan like you wants, and then some.
Hammers a right hand dunk.
Get the latest on your game on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson, owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. And for the past 27 years, I have represented people in our community who have been injured because of negligent drivers of cars, 18-wheelers, and company vehicles. I really want you to know that if you're involved in a collision, you need to contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. All you may know about an insurance company is what you see on television. If you have ever been forced to make a claim after being injured in an auto collision, there are no jokes, no geckos, no cavemen, no professional athlete endorsers. Just you against a giant insurance company that is represented by skilled adjusters and attorneys who have one job: pay as little as possible. If you've been injured in a collision, please contact an experienced attorney as soon as possible after the collision. I, of course, want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com. That's all one word, alawyerforus.com.
This is Matt Crowder live at the Shell station on 41st Street, reporting on the free gas app called Get Upside that's letting people all over the country earn cash back on every gallon of gas they buy. Excuse me, miss. Have you heard of the Get Upside gas app?
Of course. People are earning as much as $300 a year with the Get Upside app. It's so easy. Open the app to see nearby gas stations offering money back, pick the one you want, and get up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time you buy gas.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Get Upside gas app and earn up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder, Radio News Network.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to earn up to 25 cents a gallon cash back when you buy gas. Use promo code TODAY for a 50 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 75 cents a gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Get up to 75 cents a gallon cash back on your next fill up when you download the free Get Upside app and use promo code TODAY. Promo code TODAY.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie. The type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Live, local, loud. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Joe Reinagle, Jason Minix, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. He is Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Aggies have a big game tonight.
Big game tonight.
Kentucky in College Station, a game you can listen to right here on San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 7 with the pregame. Tip-off is at 7:30. You'll hear the voice of the Aggies, Andrew Monaco, on the call.
That silky voice of Andrew Monaco.
That silky voice is joining us now. Andrew, man, big day today.
God, I will talk to you guys. If you keep saying things like that to me, I will join you anytime, anywhere.
Well, we're going to keep this going till about 7:55. I want to see if you can have a conversation with us while calling play-by-play.
If you don't mind me breaking for commercials, because I know you guys know how important those are.
Yeah.
So,
we all realize we're spaced between commercials, so we understand how that works.
That's exactly right. Hey, this is a fun one, guys, and this is I give this team a ton of credit because look, they have built their way to this moment at 15-2 overall, 4-0 in SEC play. If I had told you before January 19th that there would be a team that was undefeated in the SEC on an 8-game winning streak, that was undefeated at home and undefeated on the road, you would say it would be the Kentucky Wildcats, but it's actually Texas A&M. The two losses have been on neutral floor. And what I really like, guys, in all honesty, is what Buzz Williams and this staff has done has put this team together from a number of different places, from the transfer portal, from the recruiting, from having a super senior come back to be your sixth man. And these pieces to this puzzle have fit. And this is a team that has flat out embraced A&M. This is a team that came together, that went to midnight yell, that has been with the yell leaders, that will go into the crowd after games and saw them off with the Reed Rowdies and in the crowd and take pictures. They've embraced A&M. And you know what? This is the moment for them now with number 12 Kentucky coming in, that this place is going to be a sellout. And you know what? I think these fans have embraced not just the record, but the way this team plays.
You know, Andrew, when you look at that, and you mentioned it, I know that arena is going to be rocking there tonight. But when you look back and when this team, because I'll be quite honest with you, this kind of came out of nowhere for me, that the Aggies were going to be this kind of basketball team. Were you expecting this kind of team back when the season began?
Nope. I'm not even going to lie to you. No, we didn't know. Think about what has happened since March or April, right? You get out of the SEC tournament, one and done in that. Then Emmanuel Miller leaves for TCU. Savion Flagg goes to Sam Houston. J.J. Chandler's going to play another year, but he's going to do it at South Alabama. And that's why I say what Buzz and this staff has done. Quentin Jackson coming back, I think, has been huge. He's the super senior. But I think they brought in the right transfer portal guys. Henry Coleman III, who played at Duke. I think Tyrese Radford, who played for Buzz at Virginia Tech, graduated in 3 years from Tech, and then decides that he wants to rejoin Buzz here. I think that experience, the 3 years of playing in the ACC, and then guys like Andre Gordon, guys like Hassan Diarra, who have been here since day one for Buzz, that's a really nice nucleus to this team. For Ethan Henderson to come over for his grad season from Arkansas and have 4 years in the SEC. It's just that these guys fit from preseason through boot camp, through the non-conference. There was some chemistry early, but I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think it was going to be 15-2 chemistry early or 4-0 in the SEC, but they passed 2 road tests already in conference. They passed 2 home games. This becomes their biggest test of the season.
It really does. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, joining us here on the Blitz ahead of tonight's matchup between Kentucky, ranked 12th in the country, against A&M. And I watched some of that Kentucky win over Tennessee Saturday. They blew the balls out, 107-79. And I remember one of the announcers saying this might be one of Calipari's most impressive wins of the Kentucky era for him. And then you look at their recent scores, they're blowing people out. Matchup-wise, how is A&M going to match up and try to slow that Kentucky team down?
Yeah, it's the first thing that Buzz Williams said, and you'll hear it on the pregame, that this will be see, it's funny. There's pace, there's tempo, there's quickness, and there's fast, right? And I think Kentucky's all of that. They score a bunch of their points in the first 12 seconds. That's off makes and misses. This is going to be the quickest team that A&M faces. Look, for A&M, they've got to put the ball in the hoop. We saw that against Missouri, but you'll notice that this team has what they call the diamond press. After the ball goes through the hoop, it's almost like a 1-2-2. Someone up top, 2 at midcourt, 2 on that back line. A&M, then it's not so much to steal the ball, guys. It's to slow a team down, use almost all the 10 seconds to get the ball in the front court. Now you're dealing with a 20-second shot clock. Boy, Kentucky's going to say, hey, we don't care about that. We want to get the ball up as quickly as they can. The other thing with Kentucky, they probably score more points from 2-point range because of the great offensive rebound that they have. It's not just Oscar Tshiebwe. It's all the guys can rebound. A&M success comes not just the bigs, but when their guards rebound. One of the reasons for the comeback at Missouri, the guards had 17 rebounds in that game, most of them coming in the second half when the comeback happened. You just got to put a body on a body. I would love to say that there's a magic formula. Like, I'm still scratching my head. How did this team lose to Notre Dame? How did Kentucky lose in a game that was in the 60s? You know what I mean? But Notre Dame won. They got to play their style. Think about it. Out in Las Vegas, it's exactly what happened to A&M. Notre Dame played their style in the first half, and Notre Dame had a 10-point lead at the half. A&M was able to unleash their style in the second half and walked away with the victory. It's just so difficult. The guards penetrate and can score. Savia Wheeler, Ty Washington. You've got Oscar Tshiebwe, who's first in the nation when it comes to rebounding. They don't score a lot of threes, but they sure have one who can hit threes. Kellen Grady, if he's hitting corner threes, it's going to be a problem for A&M. He comes in third in the SEC. 48 threes that he's hit this season.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, Andrew, you know as well as anybody, the fan base there in College Station for those Aggies, they love them. But it's usually football we're talking about. And you see, you know, when you go to College Station for a football game, that place is rocking. What is the buzz there today, and how rowdy will things be there tonight?
Sold out. They're going to rock Reed. They've got the T-shirts on all of the seats. In fact, one of the donors has bought the rest of the tickets and said if a student does not have the sports pass, they don't have to buy a ticket. They can come in. Buzz did this a couple of games ago against Ole Miss, the last home game. He bought 600 tickets for the students at $5 a piece. It was $3,000 for what he was hoping would be the third conference win. But this place, it has been growing. Joe, Jason, you know, you got to earn fans. You know what I mean? Yep. So you can't just say, hey, this is a good team. They have earned it with the style that they play. Defense first. The defense that triggers the offense. A steal, a broken floor, a fast break. Usually Quentin Jackson's going to have some kind of poster dunk on the other end. and they've earned it through these first 17 games of the season. And Joe, I'll tell you, football's first, baseball comes second on this campus, and then for men's basketball. But there have been some special moments for A&M against Kentucky. Elston Turner going for 40 points. The Alex Caruso Aggies doing what they did in the year that they won the SEC. It's always been usually something special, and I think the fan base here, that buzz is here because they are 12th ranked. The last time we had a crowd approaching this was when 5th-ranked Tennessee came in a couple years ago. They know who's coming in, but they also know that buzz is all in. This team is all in, and that's why they're going to show out in force this evening.
Andrew Monaco, voice of the Aggies, joining us here on the Blitz. You mentioned Kentucky's ranked number 12 in the country. A&M is a 15-2 team, and they're unranked. Is there a chip, a prove-it kind of mentality with this Aggie basketball team that, they beat Kentucky, we know they're going to be ranked in the next poll, but you got to be thinking not only get us ranked, but when the tournament rolls around, how much of a springboard, what does a win do tonight? Conversely, if they get blown out at home, what does that do to this basketball team? What's the mindset?
This is Andrew talking, seeing this program every day. It's for this team. They've got to go to Arkansas on Saturday, whether they win or lose today. And then they've got to go to LSU next Wednesday. And then they've got to host South Carolina. So you know what I mean? They've got to play 18 of these just in the SEC just to get to the SEC tournament. Nationally, no, this is the eye-opener. That's the type of team Kentucky is. To put it in perspective, when Kentucky comes in, it's when Alabama comes in for football. That it's the eye-opener across the nation. And a win like this would turn some heads. Because I think nationally it's, okay, who have they beaten? I know that they beat Notre Dame. I know that they've beaten Butler in the Las Vegas Invitational. I know that they lost to a very good Wisconsin team in that first game. I know that they've lost to TCU in Houston. But basketball fans, I think, are taking a look and saying, you know what? An SEC road win, no matter what school it is, to win at Georgia, to win at Missouri looks a little better after Missouri just did what they did to Ole Miss, to knock off an Arkansas team at home. I think you're starting to get a glimpse, but I think nationally it's, are they for real? I think tonight is one of those nights where they say they are for real. Does it define their season? No, because you're going to have to learn from it. I've been impressed in how they've been able to improve after each victory, that they don't need a loss to look in the mirror and say, oh, we need to work on this. That's why I think it's a special group that's going to continue to grow, win or lose this evening. But I will tell you this, they're not going to back down from anyone. I think there's a toughness on this team. I use this word with a lot of these guys. If you follow Buzz, you know the number one rule on this team is always be honest. Honesty is the biggest thing. So it's that trust in one another, but this is a team that competes. That's what I expect from them tonight.
Going to be a fun one tonight. You can listen to it right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Pregame begins at 7 right after the Blitz, and you'll hear that guy, Andrew Monaco. Greatly appreciate you taking the time an hour before your broadcast starts to jump on with us for a couple minutes, man. Appreciate you.
My pleasure. Great talking to you guys.
Gig 'em.
Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Texas A&M Aggies. That's going to be a big one tonight, but watching some of that Kentucky game on Saturday, it's going to be a test for this Aggie team.
No, it will be. I tell you what, though, I don't know about you, but I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. I got goosebumps. Andrew Monaco is one of those guys that is just, he's so good at what he does, and he gets so invested in the team that he's calling games for, like he has with the Aggies. That move by the University of or Texas A&M to hire him to be their voice was the best decision they've ever made.
They really have, and you understand what the voice of a program means. And I say that not to bring the room down, but Ron Franklin passed away yesterday.
Yes.
And growing up, listening to Ron Franklin and, growing up as an Astro fan, listening to a Milo Hamilton, Brad Sham just did his 900th Dallas Cowboy game. Like, I think he started that job before I was born. You know what I mean? And they're just such a part of the fabric of the team. Ron Franklin, I mean, he did Longhorns, but, on Raycom Sports and the different stuff that you would listen to. I remember when I was a freshman in high school going to one of the journalism things, and, we all got to interview and write stories on Ron Franklin. And, he was the guest speaker, and, and then you'd meet him, after I got into this business, and I would always tell him that story. He'd always be embarrassed about it. But I mean, dude, it was, and Craig Way is that way
Craig
now.
Way, yeah.
Andrew Monaco to replace a guy like Dave South.
Yeah.
And, so because what it's like to replace a legend in Dan Cook. The guy that replaces the legend doesn't always work out.
And Dave South was there forever. And boy, he was the biggest Aggies fan that there was.
Yeah.
But
you never knew what was going on in the game.
Yeah, no, you never knew. He was like a Harry Carey guy. Yeah. I got to take you back. You mentioned Milo Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
I go back as far as Gene Elston.
Wow.
Right? So I used to, and I had a little portable radio. And I would stick that thing underneath my pillow so my parents didn't know I was listening to the Astros game, because I'd listen to the Astros. That's all I could get. I couldn't get the Cardinals when I was a kid.
You couldn't get KMOX down in Alice, Texas?
No, I couldn't. So I'd listen to Gene Elston.
Good old Jack Buck.
Gene Elston was great. Well, Jack Buck, a great story too, because my grandparents lived here in San Antonio. So when we would come up here, my grandfather had this old Philco radio. It was huge, right? So my memories of being a young kid is my dad and my grandfather trying to tune in KMOX to listen to Jack Buck. And they would get it for a few minutes, then it would go, yeah. And they'd get it for a few more, but they would listen to that thing for the whole ball game. And they loved it and they enjoyed it. So it's, radio guys and voices of teams, they just, they're a part of the team.
They really are. And the legends, and, you hear different stories. Some are really nice guys, others aren't. I remember when, I young in the business and I was working up in New Braunfels and I was doing play-by-play, and, up there, we did volleyball, we did football, we did basketball, we did softball, you did baseball. And I remember taking a tape after a couple of Unicorn baseball games, and I told him I was going to do it. We were an Astros affiliate there at KGNB. And I said, Mr. Hamilton, I want to send, can I send? So I sent him a tape of some games. A 2-page handwritten letter back.
Wow. That's awesome.
All complimentary, but, in the, fourth inning of this game, it sounded like you were distracted, or you're trying to get something to eat in there, just stand. But I thought it was great. He and Alan Ashby were doing the games for so long. Batalio Franklin on Facebook Live. I remember Jay Howard as the Spurs radio guy growing up. And Jay was great.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I met Jay, and I've told Jay this story, so I'm not talking bad about him, but I mean, Jay has a well-earned reputation, all right, of not being the nicest guy on the planet. Jay is great now, but I remember listening to Spurs games in Copper's Cove, growing up there as a Spurs fan. So I started working here in 1993, and that was the first year the Spurs were playing in the Alamo Dome. And so early on in the season, I'm going to my first Spurs game with a media credential, and I'm going with Russell Scott, who was the news and sports director at the time, and he knew I wanted to meet Jay Howard. So we go into the Alamo Dome, and we were all the seats were courtside back then in the Alamo Dome. And I remember we walk up, and because he was going to go introduce me to Jay, and he had warned me, Jay, especially on a game day, don't be disappointed, right? So we go up and he's like, well, Jay's not there, but see that chair there? It's this big office looking chair.
Right.
He's like, that's where Jay Howard sits. See the chair next to it? That's where his ego sits. Right? And so we're walking into the media dining room and Jay is walking out. I'll never forget this. And I've told Jay Howard this story and he doesn't dispute it. Jay's got a soda can in one hand, or a drink in one hand, and his other hand is free. And Russell's like, hey, Jay, this is Jay Semenix, just got out of the Navy, started working with us. Big fan of yours, wants to meet you. I reach my hand out to shake it. Jay looks at me and says, nice to meet you, and keeps on walking. Yeah. Love Jay Howard.
I've known Jay Howard a long time, and he was like he's a different guy now.
He is.
He's a much different guy now. But it's so many great memories just talking about the guys that you threw out, and it was just gives me goosebumps.
Absolutely, it does. And again, you say that, and Ron Franklin passing away yesterday. And when I saw that on Twitter last night, that one hits you.
That was tough, yeah.
And there are legendary broadcasters that you grow up with. Our friend Gary DeLon is going through it right now in the hospital, battling from COVID. His son texted me a little while ago and said that he is getting better. They're hoping to get him out of the hospital soon. A couple of days ago, we didn't know if he was going to make it.
It didn't look good.
You know, he's 88. So, I mean, it's, you know, and I'm thinking, knowing Gary DeLon as well as being in a hospital alone is the last thing Gary DeLon needs.
Right.
Gary's a people person. He needs to get somewhere where he can be surrounded by people.
Oh, I got a text from Richard Oliver the other day. It was after the Cowboys game. And he said, you know, Gary's doing well. He said, you know, his family says he's up and around. And he said he's really pissed off about the Cowboys game.
Which, you know, he's
said,
getting
well,
better.
He's doing fine.
He's doing better, which is good to hear. Staying on college sports.
Yes.
And this is a complete 180. But last night at the UT basketball game, photos start circulating of Gary Patterson in a suite with Chris Del Conte. He and CDC are up there talking. Okay. And we've heard rumors that Gary Patterson was going to be a consultant at UT. And for you 14 TCU fans out there, I know that gives you the heebie-jeebies, man. That gives you a rash. And then you see a photo of Gary Patterson wearing a Longhorn pullover.
It looked like a mistake.
Dude. I mean, you talk about things that don't look right. And so you do a little digging. They posted a job the other day on the UT system that is going to be Gary's job, Gary Patterson, as the assistant with special projects assigned by the head football coach. Assist with overall practice and game day preparation, statistical analysis, and video analysis of opposing teams. Assist with self-scouting on offense, defense, special team schemes. Travel with coaching staff and provide statistical support.
And the fine print of that is you will be replacing Steve Sarkisian very soon.
I mean, if you're Sark, are you good with this?
No.
I mean, it's Gary Patterson.
Yeah. How can you be? How can you be?
I mean, a lot of head coaches have other head coaches as consultants while they're getting paid off on their other contracts on those buyouts. Generally, they're friends of yours. Maybe Sark and Gary Patterson go way back and they sing country music songs together in the off season.
Karaoke.
Or maybe they don't.
Maybe not.
Well, I mean, Gary Patterson, he fancies himself as a songwriter.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you've heard his stuff, but I think I'd rather listen to Joe Ryan go karaoke The Chair by George Strait than listen to a Gary Patterson song ever again.
Tony Parker rapping. Same thing.
It's right up there.
Right
or
up
Bill
there,
Schoening songs. I mean, it's no offense, Bill. Kid. But again, you look at it, that is the weirdest. I mean, of all strange, I mean, that would be like seeing R.C. Slocum in a Longhorn logoed shirt. I mean,
that would never happen.
Some things just don't look right. Well, I think for a lot of people, nobody would ever think that Gary Patterson would have that logo on his shirt.
It's a good point.
I mean, I think that's a fair analogy.
It looked like a mistake. I mean, it just looked weird because you're used to seeing him in TCU purple.
Yes.
Everywhere. And then you see him looking like that, and it's like, that's not the same guy. It can't be. But if I'm Steve Sarkisian, I'm like, I'm calling a realtor, and I'm getting ready to move because you got to think the pressure now that is on Sark when he goes in, as Gary Patterson is looking over his shoulder the entire time. I mean, I don't know the relationship that they have and what he'll do and how much advice he'll give Steve Sarkisian. But I mean, my goodness, the pressure game one this fall is going to be enormous on Sark.
And again, it feels like your replacement is already there.
Exactly.
I go back to what Shireen Williams from Pro Football Talk was telling us yesterday about maybe the future of Kellen Moore. If they give him a new contract and write in, you'll be the next head coach when we move on from Mike McCarthy. Well, if you're Mike McCarthy, you're a lame duck walking. If you're Sark, it's year 2, and you bring in this guy. And I don't know if I'd have felt better if Sark was also in the suite, but it's CDC and Gary Patterson.
Yeah.
That just feels.
Wouldn't you have loved to have heard the conversation that was going on there? I mean, just to be a fly on the wall and what Del Conte was telling him.
If you're Gary Patterson and it was overseeing the defense, overseeing a defensive consultant. Because even the day after he got fired, he was helping prep TCU's defense. He's a coach. He doesn't know what else to do. Well, it just, I mean, as a Longhorn fan, just looking at that, seeing that picture, I don't like it. I mean, I've never been a Gary Patterson fan.
I think it would be brilliant. I mean, he's a great coach, and that's what Steve Sarkisian, I never understood that anyway. I mean, I really didn't. And a lot of these, however, we can always look back. But if you get an opportunity to get a Gary Patterson as your head coach, I guarantee you the Longhorn faithful are eating that up, and they're going to jump on it.
As a Longhorn fan, I mean, he did a lot at TCU over a long period of time, and he got them to a Rose Bowl. And what he was able to do at TCU, pretty remarkable. But Gary Patterson, no.
Worst mistake Texas ever made was firing Mac Brown. Okay?
I disagree with that.
No,
I
don't.
I think at the time it was their worst mistake they didn't make is get Art Briles out of Baylor before Baylor blew up. I think that was probably the biggest mistake they made, because I think Art Briles, if the stuff at Baylor never happened, Art Briles would be the head coach at UT right now. Well, and they would be fine.
He would be the head coach somewhere. But look, in the circles, the college, they know that stuff's going on. Sure. It's not a secret. So that made Art Briles untouchable.
Yeah.
Can you imagine hiring Briles and then all of that comes out and you're stuck with him? I mean, come on.
All valid points. But Gary Patterson?
I would love it. I'd love to see it.
As a Longhorn fan, that's going to take a while.
I would love to see it.
That's going to take a while.
I'd go to Fort Worth to watch that game the first time. Texas TCU.
Well, I think it'd be fun.
It'd be
great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I love a circus. But as a Longhorn fan, I don't like having a Gary Patterson on the 40 acres. Well, not right now. I got to warm up to it.
When Texas is, 4-7 next year, then you might warm up to it.
Point. Good point. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. Cowboy season is over, so you immediately start looking to the next. Mel Kiper's got his first mock draft out. I appreciate Mel Kiper.
Mm-hmm.
He fills segments all off season. We'll see what Mel has to say and disagree with it right off the bat as we continue here on the Blitz. It's going to be cold tonight, and that wintry mix is going to be there. The freeze. If you have an issue with your plumbing, if you've got a pipe that bursts, anything bad goes wrong, your heater goes out, you need to call Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899. At Quarter Moon, they're full service, big job, small job, residential or commercial, and their service trucks are fully stocked, and they've got all the equipment needed for any job. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions. They have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau, and they are available 24/7. Heater goes out tonight. You got a pipe issue tonight or in the morning, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online, quartermoonplumbing.com. What does Mel Kiper think the Cowboys need? We'll discuss after SportsCenter and James Pledger.
Thanks, Jason. You just mentioned Gary Patterson. Well, the Longhorns will be losing kicker Cameron Dicker. The school's all-time leading points leader among kickers has declared for the NFL draft. In the NBA, the Spurs pulled off a 3-team trade last night, sending guard Bryn Forbes to the Denver Nuggets. In exchange, they received for Juancho Hernan-Gomez and a 2028 second-round pick from the Nuggets. Speaking of the Spurs, they return to action tonight as they take on the Oklahoma City Thunder with tip-off from the AT&T Center set for 7:30. While tonight, the Texas A&M Aggies, who have won 8 straight, take on the 12th-ranked Kentucky Wildcats with tip-off from Reed Arena in College Station set for 7:30. It's a game you can catch right here starting at 7 with the pregame. I'm James Pledger for San Antonio Sports Star.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Kielbasa Slow Crafted Sausage, available at your local grocery stores.
This whole wall needs to be shelving, too. This is a focal point in our restaurant.
Leilani's new restaurant will have the largest wine cellar in the city.
She needs a robust sommelier with notes of procurement manager.
3 sections for France. I mean, this is the biggest.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Get Upside Gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code RACE for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or any gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code RACE for up to 50 cents a gallon cash back on your first tank. That's code RACE.
A new year comes with new excitement, new ambitions, new milestones. Is this the year you pop the question, have a child? Celebrate a major anniversary. At Diamonds Direct, we're here for you, now more than ever. With our vast selection of exquisite hand-picked diamonds, our world-renowned designer jewelry collections, our industry-leading warranties and guarantees, and our people. People with a passion for helping you mark any occasion with something that's both meaningful and timeless. And our commitment to providing exceptional value is stronger than ever in the new year. Whether you're just starting out on a tight budget or whether you're splurging on that 30th anniversary gift, Diamonds Direct will make sure you get the price that you expect from America's premier direct diamond importer. Welcome to a new year and welcome to Diamonds Direct, where extreme value combines with the ultimate luxury shopping experience to create that truly magical moment for the milestones in your life. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys at the shops at Lock Ontario.
Imagine a life with no more tooth pain. If you struggled with dental problems all of your life, or maybe you're missing teeth, or maybe you've got cavities followed by fillings and more fillings and more fillings, then a root canal, and then the crowns to follow, only to have the pain come back. You know what I'm talking about, and if you're dealing with it, stop. And stop spending lots of money at the dentist every few years only to have it fail. Dental implants at River City Oral Surgery could be your solution. Dr. Mark Habercorn at River City Oral Surgery is an oral surgeon and a medical doctor, and he offers direct patient care with prices that are literally listed on his website, rivercityoms.com. $1,300 per dental implant. That includes exams, x-rays, and post-op care. $20,900 to replace all the teeth in one jaw with implant teeth, and that also includes everything from start to finish. The prices are on the website and financing is available. Stop the struggle. It's time for no more tooth pain. No more worrying that something will blow up on you. I want you to call Dr. Mark Habercorn at River City Oral Surgery at 210-778-0002.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
Joe Reinagle, Jason Minix, The Blitz on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It is The Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. That is the musically challenged Joe Reinagle.
Yeah, I guess my daughters have heard of the Chemical Romance.
Yes.
My Chemical Romance.
You're going to go home, put it on your playlist?
No.
Your wife's heard of it too.
Maybe she has. I'll have to ask her when I get home. But
you won't remember the name of the band.
No, you're right.
You're going to be like, hey, have you ever heard of this band? What band? It's
some kind of romance thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Mm-hmm.
Was that them again, Pledge, you just played?
No, that's the other headliner, Paramore.
Paramore. Yeah.
You heard of that?
The world famous Paramore.
Yeah, it's a great bar downtown.
Yeah, exactly.
You know that spot.
I know that spot.
Absolutely.
The band, not so much. No.
You know that spot.
Hey, I will tell you, I'm a big Justin Bieber fan. How about that? I like Justin Bieber. He's got some great music.
He does, huh?
He does.
He sings some.
I don't know it by heart, but Justin Bieber. There you go. See, I'm hip.
You're going to break your hip.
I'm hip. I'm cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had to take my daughter to the Justin Bieber movie when she was young, and I dreaded it. Movie was great.
Was it now?
It was great.
Mm-hmm.
It was a story of how he got famous, and it was great.
Girl dad, I've gone to a lot of concerts with my daughter that I wanted nothing to do with going.
Right. And you enjoyed it.
And I've had fun. Fall Out Boy. I have seen Fall Out Boy 4 times. I like them.
Okay.
They're good. First time we saw Fall Out Boy, they were playing with Wiz Khalifa. You talk about an interesting mix of people, but they were good.
There you go.
Then saw them this summer again. They were playing with Green Day and Weezer.
See?
Have you heard of them?
I've heard of Green Day.
You've heard of Weezer too.
I'm probably not. I don't know.
I'm sure he's heard of.
As you realize, I'm not a big music connoisseur as far as that goes. I mean, I like songs, right? But I couldn't tell you who plays them.
Sure.
So,
but you like going to concerts.
I love going to concerts. Yeah.
You just go and just kind of move around, drink beer.
Well, usually I know. Usually, if I'm going to a concert, I know who they are and what songs they play,
or at least listen to some music to prepare for it.
No, I usually know who they are because otherwise, why would I go? I mean, why would I go to a Chemical Romance concert when I don't know who the hell they are or what song they sing?
But then you get there and you hear the song and you go, oh, yeah, I've heard of this one.
No.
I've heard of that one.
No.
You have.
I've never heard of Chemical Romance.
Yes, you have.
I have.
You have. I promise you. You have a pulse. You do you not?
I think so.
Yes. Then you have. You might not know who they are. My wife is that way. Well, Joanna, you want to go? Yeah. I mean, it's rare for her to say no. And then she'll get there. Oh, I know this one. I mean, that happened the other day. We went and go see Sammy Hagar, or a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah.
I told her, hey, we're going to go see Sammy. She's like, I only know one song, but okay. She knew every damn song he was singing.
Yeah.
I had a great time.
Well, and that would be fun.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Sammy Hagar fan, but
dude is 74.
That's incredible.
And still rocking it.
That's incredible.
It is.
Well, a lot of those guys are still going. So there's hope for me. I can go for a long time
of not listening to good music.
And not My Chemical Romance. No, that's you consider that good music? I mean, that's a concert you would say, hey, they're coming to San Antonio. I got to go get tickets.
No.
Okay.
No, but if they were playing at a festival, see, like they're headlining this festival.
That's the headliner.
One of them.
Wow.
Co-headliners.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm going to a festival in April in Memphis.
Okay.
Foo Fighters are the headliner.
Foo Fighters, right. Okay. I get that.
I'm going to see Foo Fighters.
Well, you're a big Foo Fighter fan.
And I know they're going to play for a couple hours.
Right.
I'm not going for a 25-minute set.
You'd want to listen to Romance Chemicals for 2 hours?
No.
Chemical Romance?
No, like I said, I wouldn't plunk down money to go to that show.
Okay, I got you.
Right. But if they were at a festival, I wouldn't go, they're playing, I'm not going.
$250 to go to that festival.
For GA. That's general admission.
Okay. You could pay more and get a better seat.
Yeah.
To see Chemical Romance.
My Chemical Romance. And
wow. No. Okay. And this is in Vegas, and you're going to take time out to...
See, that's the other part.
Yeah.
See, like I'm going to Vegas at the end of February.
Right.
To see a Metallica concert.
Okay.
That I will do. And I've seen Metallica in Vegas before.
Uh-huh.
They were playing a festival there a couple years ago. I've seen Green Day in Vegas.
Okay.
But generally speaking, when I go to Vegas, I don't want to go to any shows.
No.
I wasted more money on show tickets that I did not go to.
I've done that too.
I'm not getting up from the table right now.
Yeah.
I don't care that we've got tickets for, Chris Angel to steal my money, because that's the only magic trick he knows, is to make your money disappear.
I'd like to see that guy, though.
He sucks.
He does? You've seen him?
Twice.
Oh, wow.
Awful.
So you gave him a second chance?
Not in Vegas. He was on tour, and we went, and it was still bad.
It was bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's the other guy that's pretty good?
Copperfield.
Copperfield.
Is that who you're thinking? There's another one up there, too, now.
David Blaine?
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I've seen him stuff on TV, and it looks pretty good.
yeah.
You're
But,
like, wow.
But generally speaking, I saw Britney in Vegas.
Britney Spears?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was a good show.
Okay, I bet it was.
That was a
Yeah.
good show. And
Well-
again, not something that I would say, hey, let's go see Britney. But I went. I had a good time.
I walked out of a Paul McCartney concert in Vegas.
Did your phone ring?
It sucked.
Are you kidding?
It sucked. I'm going to tell you because I was excited about it, right? And we're there and we got free tickets. You know, the casino guy said, hey, I want to go to Paul McCartney.
High rolling Joe Ryan.
And I said, sure. You know, it'd be great. So get in there and I'm watching this concert and all I see are these little these girls with butterfly wings on, and they're walking down the aisle and this goofy music is playing. And then all this stuff, it looked like an opera. And so Paul McCartney comes out and he starts playing this music that I'm thinking Beatles, right? I want to hear something or some of his stuff, right? From whatever that band was that he was in. See, I don't remember the name of those things, but it's, you know what I'm talking about. Nothing like that. And I said, I'm leaving. I'm going. Now, had I paid for the tickets, I might have.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Right, but I didn't pay for the ticket.
Were they good seats?
Yeah, they were great seats.
I mean,
but it was all this junk going on. You know, just play music. I don't want to. I don't need a show. It's girls with butterfly wings on flying around.
You know, there's other shows like that in Vegas that have those that sell out for a variety of reasons.
Well, this was not like that.
Okay,
they had butterfly wings on and clothes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So
you didn't stay.
No,
it's not what you thought it was going to be.
It was not what I thought it would be. So, you know, I will walk out of concerts if I didn't pay for the ticket.
Yeah. So if it's free, you don't care.
I'm a Floor's Country Store kind of guy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's my kind of thing. You can go and drink some beer and, you know, tap your feet.
Walked out of a Paul McCartney concert.
Paul McCartney. I did.
And again, that setup, that stage, all right, maybe. I mean, it almost sounds like a Rod Stewart show I saw down in Houston. Rod Stewart and Cyndi Lauper, of all people.
Oh, wow.
It was a great show, though.
I'm sure it really was. Love Rod Stewart.
You would have walked out.
I wouldn't have walked out of that one.
You would have walked out. And towards the end, he starts kicking soccer balls into the crowd.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, see, that would have been okay.
It was interesting.
There were no butterflies?
No.
Okay. See,
no.
I probably would have stayed.
I mean, there was other things when Cyndi Lauper was on stage.
I'm sure.
But that was just one of those crazy nights. So that's our discussion on Mel Kiper's mock draft and what we think of it. Because Mel thinks they need a defensive end.
Yes.
No, they don't need a defensive end.
No, they don't. They need a offensive lineman.
Number 24 pick. They need to work on the offensive line. And I say that fully expecting the Cowboys to re-sign Randy Gregory. They've invested way too much in Randy Gregory to get him finally back and get him good to have him leave at this point.
Okay. I agree. And he played well this year. He did. Yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence, not so much, but Randy Gregory was pretty good.
D-Law was pretty good while he was out there.
He was?
Yes.
I don't remember hearing his name much.
He draws a lot of attention. That gets a lot of sacks for other people.
So is that in the stat sheet?
It really is.
It is?
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is.
Okay. So Randy Gregory was pretty good. Yeah, he sacked a couple of people.
He did.
Yeah.
Bunch of bad quarterbacks, though.
So they played a bunch of bad
according to Ryan
quarterbacks.
Nagel, every good thing that happened for the Cowboys this year was against crappy teams, so none of it matters. And he ain't wrong.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the honesty. It's about time. It's about time. Yeah, I don't know what their schedule is yet, but we're going to have to go through that at some point in time and figure out who they're going to lose to next year. Because this team's going to look completely different. I don't think Amari Cooper's going to be back. He's gone. I don't think he'll be back.
We'll see.
He might be, but I don't think so. And I'm not sure they want him back. Has he really been the guy everybody thought he would be?
Yes.
At times, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, when they made the midseason trade, that changed things for Dak Prescott. That changed things for the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Thanks.
Okay. Now, he'll be playing for the Jets next year.
No, he won't.
Yeah, he will.
No, he won't. No,
look at this.
No,
look what Pledge just pulled up.
Yeah, the 2022 schedule is already out. It's not in order, but obviously they're going to get the NFC East.
Oh
we
my
know.
Gosh.
They're going to have the Bears, the Detroit Lions, the Houston Texans, the Colts, because they get the AFC South. They got to go to Lambeau, hopefully in September. At Jacksonville, that's a tough one up in Minnesota. And then, of course, they got the NFC East. They got a easy road trip over to Nashville. They got to play the Cincinnati Bengals. They'll play the Buccaneers. They'll play the Rams.
Okay. Well, it gets tough at the end there, doesn't it?
Well, that's not in order. That's just who they're playing.
Okay.
I mean, clearly, I said that twice. That's not in order. There's no dates. It all says TBA.
Well, I think that Tennessee game is later in the season, though, if I remember.
No, nobody has said yet.
Oh, they haven't?
They haven't.
It should be later in the season.
The only thing, because the NFL teases everybody, they tell you, here's your home games, here's your road games. We'll put dates on it later.
All right. Well, at Green Bay, at Minnesota, at Tennessee.
Again.
That's not easy.
No, it's not going to be an easy schedule
at the
next
Rams.
year. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Home game for the Cowboys.
Yeah, it will be.
It will be.
It will be. Absolutely.
It will be. It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Store. ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. Talk some Spurs coming up.
Maybe.
Don't forget, Grilling with the Blitz tomorrow. We'll give away that $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. And I want some chili pictures. You got to do them now. You got to go to sasportstar.com, upload your photos, try to win that $50 gift card. And speaking of Tri-County Meat Market, they've got a cold front special going on. 20% off chuck roast, shoulder roast, and lean chili meat Wednesday to Friday over there at Tri-County Meat Market. So you think about your grilling over the next couple of days or indoor cooking. If you're not going to cook outside, you want that lean chili meat, get over to Tri-County Meat Market, 20% off. And then you got to start thinking about this weekend divisional round playoff games. You're going to fire up the grill. You need to get into Tri-County Meat Market because they've got everything you need to help your grilling game. The beef, the chicken, the pork, the fajitas. They've got pre-made items that are ready to go. They got the Pick 5 for $25 that's always available. Tri-County Meat Market always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. 2 great locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Huebner. Online, tricountymeat.com.
Exciting changes ahead on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM. On February 1st, you'll need to retune your radio to 1250 AM and 103.3 FM. Same great programming, stronger signal. We think. Probably not.
Exergen would like you to know about an important study just released by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has known all along. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate. The study also reports that they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. We can't afford to tolerate the rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
On our first date, we had masks on and kept 6 feet apart. Now, we're a lot closer.
Just like Cliff and Deb, thousands of singles over 50 found their perfect match on Silver Singles last year.
I feel like I'm 20 years old again, and I'm pretty sure she feels the same way.
Rediscover the magic of dating with Silver Singles, the exclusive community for singles over 50. Sign up today and receive daily matches you won't want to miss at silversingles.com/radio. silversingles.com/radio.
Did the guy driving the 18-wheeler which wrecked into you focus too much on looking at himself in the mirror and not the road in front of him? His hair is still a mess and now you're seriously hurt. If you or a loved one is hurt in a wreck with an 18-wheeler or company vehicle, don't call just any dude, call the dude, the personal injury dude. Mark Poling at Poling Law PLLC at pidude.com. That's pidude.com. Or call 210-201-0303, 24 hours a day.
You probably wouldn't leave thousands of dollars on the table at a diner. Why leave thousands on the table with your tax return? Jackson Hewitt will help make sure you don't. This year, there are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits. Your Jackson Hewitt Tax Pro will help you track down every last one, so you get your biggest refund guaranteed. Don't leave thousands on the table this year. Discover thousands of dollars in tax credits instead. Learn more at jacksonhewitt.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Grit Football is holding their first camp of 2022 this Saturday at Texas A&M San Antonio for players between 11 and 19 years old. Grit Football is designed to get student athletes to the next level of their sports career. Become starter, make varsity, play in college, improve your game and football IQ with offensive and defensive concepts taught by college coaches. Sign your player up for the Grit Football Camp this Saturday, January 22nd at Texas A&M San Antonio. Sign up today at gritfootballcamp.com. That's gritfootballcamp.com.
It's heart-stopping, rim-wrecking, ball-arching action.
All three, got it!
College hoops are happening, and we've got the action and excitement you love. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Hi, this is Paul Feinbaum, and you're listening to San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minix. He is Joe Reinagel. Spurs in Oklahoma City tonight. Should be a what do you always call it on TV? Cupcakes?
A cupcake.
Should be a cupcake
should
game.
be.
Should be.
But I'm kind of 0 for 1 this season with cupcakes. And with this team, you don't know. I mean, Houston came in here and kind of rolled the Spurs. So, I mean, they should be able to beat OKC.
They should be, but with this team, you can't take anything for granted. But kind of the news of the day in the Spurs is the trade that they did last night, shipping Bryn Forbes off. And listening to Jimenez earlier on halftime, he was hoping that trade opens up a lot of minutes for Josh Primo. And I kind of agree with that. I'd like to see that, but I don't think that's going to happen. Greg Popovich said in his pregame tonight that Bryn Forbes' trade was not done with the intent of opening more minutes for Josh Primo. Quote, no, Joshua is going to stay with the G League for now. He needs that experience.
Yeah, Pop has got a plan with these young guys, and he sticks with it. I mean, think about it. And Josh Primo said as much the other night. He said, you know, he talks to the other guys, Johnson.
Keldon.
Yeah, it's been a long day, hasn't it?
It's just
Keldon
getting started
Johnson,
for you. You've got
Devin
another job
Vassell.
to go to.
You know, these guys, DeJounte Murray, even all of those guys spent time in the G League, kind of honing their game. And so, you know, it's just natural. It's where he should be. And look, their season's almost over anyway in Austin. So he'll be back here and he'll get some playing time.
Yeah, they will. And again, tonight's game should be a win. Should be. The good news is they're healthy. For the first time all year, I think, the injury report doesn't have any injuries.
And they weren't that way against Houston.
No, they were all beat up.
A lot of guys out from COVID.
You know, so, I mean, you know, everybody that you expect to play is available.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've seen that all year. I could be wrong on that, but it feels like this is the first time they've had an injury report without injuries on it.
Yeah, I think you're right. And, you know, that's going to be good because I'd like to see what this team has in store for the end of the season. Obviously, they've got a big rodeo road trip coming up, but down the stretch, can they get into that 10th playoff spot or somewhere in that play-in game tournament? And I still believe that they can. I think Derek White is a big piece that he's going to make a big difference as we move forward. And the way DeJounte Murray, by the way, speaking of DeJounte Murray, did you hear Chris Paul talking about DeJounte Murray the other day?
I did not.
Talking about not only is he a great player, but he is a great leader as well. And I have to agree with him. And I like the fact that the rest of the NBA is starting to see DeJounte Murray and his value to this Spurs ball club.
Which is why I think he'll ultimately end up on the All-Star team this year. Now, the other Spurs news today is Pop is going to be very lonely on the bench. Becky Hammond is in the protocols. Also, Mitch Johnson has joined her in the protocol list, and another assistant, Matt Nielsen, just got back from the protocols. And I would say this. Pop has avoided the protocols.
He has.
Yeah, you know, and I've dodged the bullet too.
Sure.
I haven't tested positive.
I haven't
at any point. Neither of you. But it's just kind of weird. You just kind of feel like you're dodging it. But a lot of people that have been around Pop have ended up in the protocols. But he so far has avoided it.
Well, you don't know whether you or I have avoided it because we don't have to get tested on a regular basis.
I don't tell people I've never I've never tested positive. I don't know that I've ever not had COVID, but I've never tested positive.
Right. Well, I haven't either. And I've been tested a lot. We had to be tested for the Cowboys camp, for the Spurs, for their media day, and then when I came back from Mexico. And so all of them were negative. But, these guys have to be tested every day or on a regular basis. And so, if we had to do that, who knows?
You never know.
You never know.
And that's part of it. Although, speaking of testing, we were talking the other day about the creepy white van by the radio station.
Yes.
It wasn't there today. But what I did notice, that drive-through place, right over by the radio station, Austin Highway area, the line has been hours and hours and backed up to the flea market. Today, there was no cars lined up on Eisenhower Park. There were a few that were trying to get in there, but the line was extremely short. So hopefully the ridiculous testing lines and all that stuff are coming to an end.
Well, I hope so. I really do. And I hope this whole pandemic thing will come to an end very soon, because I'm ready to get on with it. Hey, have you noticed there were no protocols in the NFL last weekend?
Yeah, we get to the playoffs and everybody's good.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, it's kind of that way in the college football playoff too.
Yeah, there was, right?
There are a lot of bowl games that were not played, Aggies, because of COVID, or guys were missing. But those games that mattered the most, everybody was good to go.
Everybody was there. That's interesting.
It really is.
Money talk.
That it does. Mike McCarthy, the Dallas Cowboys head coach, will be on with Rob and Rudy tomorrow morning.
Can't wait.
Live at 6:45. They're going to probably replay that a time or two throughout the show, but Mike McCarthy had a whole lot to say today in his press conference that just pisses me off even more. He admits they weren't a good run team. Well, good.
Yeah.
He also said that he thought the team was nervous before that playoff game. Then he tried to walk it back and say, no, I don't want to say nervous. There was some angst. The guy talked for almost an hour.
Well, they played nervous.
That they did. But 3 days later, he still thinks they did everything right on that final play and is blaming the damn refs.
Well, of course he does. What else is he going to say?
I just.
It's like, we had a great show today. You weren't so good, but I was fabulous.
Says who, man? You want to check the tape? Go to work. Stay warm tonight. Stay warm tonight. Looks like every school district in town is canceled for tomorrow. Yeah. Not delayed, canceled for tomorrow. So imagine half the city's going to call in sick because they got to stay home and take care of the kiddos. Again, Mike McCarthy tomorrow morning on R&R at 6:45, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. We'll talk about it on the Blitz tomorrow at 4.
I can't wait to watch you guys play. We're ready for y'all. Let's go.